today's reading is going to be a subscriber suggested video, so it may not be everybody's cup of tea, but I'm guessing or hoping if you click on the video that you're here and interested in the topic. So we're going to get into which of your past lives is affecting this one and how. So what could what could you have possibly done, or what did you possibly do in the past life, if you believe in past lives anyway, that is affecting this one negatively, positively, so on and so forth. We want to get into who were you in this past life, what did you do, how is it affecting this specific one, and then what is the lesson that you're meant to learn in this life, I guess. Okay, so we're going to get into that, but first I want to get some options for you guys. I was contemplating on whether I wanted to do 3 or 4 groups, but we're probably just going to do 3. Because I've noticed that readings like this don't get many views on my channel anyway. So there's no, use of me putting in a whole bunch of energy, and it's not going to really, nobody's going to watch it. So we're going to do 3 groups. I didn't ask for a group, so we're going to put this back. Can I get an option for group 1, please? How will they choose their reading? Group 1. You have wonders. And I just heard, will wonders never cease? Can I get a card for group 2, please? Can I get a card for group 2? How will they choose their reading? Please help them choose their reading. And I'm definitely going to be checking this mic today because I don't know if it's fully charged. I don't need to be cutting off. So we have inner peace and we have miracles. I hope you can see that. Probably you can, because these are more matte and they won't glare with the light from above. So we have inner peace and miracles. And why is that stained? Don't like that. It came out like that, so we're going to leave it like that. And then can I get a card for my gorgeous group 3s, please? Do you want to follow it or not? We have leadership. So group 1, we have wonders. Group 2, we have inner peace. Group 3, we have leadership. Choose the card that calls out to you the most. Let me move my hands. The card that calls out to you the most. The card you feel most attracted to, you find your eyes coming back to the most, and pausing on the most. That's how I usually choose my readings. How, if my eye keeps going back to another card and I look away and it goes back to that card immediately and then stays there for a little bit and I don't feel called to another card, that's how I usually choose. So, I'm trying to give you a little tips or something. Choose between number 1, 2, 3. The first number that pops up in your head could be your pile, all that good stuff. Okay, so you're going to choose your group. And then I'll definitely be seeing you guys at your reading. So see you guys over there. Hello, my gorgeous group 1s. Welcome to your reading. This is going to be a reading about which of your past lives is affecting this one and how. This is a subscriber suggested reading. Try to say that 5 times fast. And we're going to be getting into which of your past lives is affecting this one and how. Who were you? By starting off with who are you in this past life? What did you do that may have, warranted the good or bad you're experiencing now, the karma you're experiencing now? Because karma is a neutral party. It is neither good or bad. So what did you do to, warrant this karma you're experiencing now? And how is it affecting this specific life? How did what you do how is it affecting this life? And then what is the lesson you're meant to learn? So we're going to hop into that really quickly. Here we have with wonders. And immediately in the intro, I heard, will wonders never cease? So you could be someone who's experienced a lot of good in your life, okay? This is like always gives me making it on the other side when I see this little wormhole. I can't talk. It's still Mercury retrograde, so bear with me if you hear me jumble over my words, which is not uncommon on the channel anyway, because I talk really fast. And I can't help it. I try to slow down, then just speeds up. So I'm sorry. Okay, so yes, like I said, this always gives me like something coming through the wormhole. You opened up a portal and you were just kind of zapped here. Always gives me, if you're a Marvel movie watcher, how they were always time traveling, especially in, I think it was like Endgame, where they were traveling back in time, how it was like a wormhole was opening up and you just like kind of like squirt out. In any of the movies where you're like doing time traveling, like a hole just appears somewhere and you come out of the hole. That's what this is giving me. So you're always constantly like things are just popping into your reality that you're just not expecting, whether that's good or bad. That's what it's definitely giving me. This crystal here always gives me rose quartz or amethyst. So I'm not sure exactly which crystal this is. Like, I wonder if they would tell me in the book. Like, I feel like reading from the book for this. So we're going to try to do that. Like, I wonder if they would tell me what crystal it is. Because they usually describe what's going on in the cards. So I guess we'll see. Is it? Yes, it is. It's alphabetical. So W will be all the way at the end. That's the last one. See, we have quartz crystal, so it's just a quartz. See, it could be any of those. So we have natural rock crystals: clear, amethyst, citrine, rose, and smoky. Were all revered in ancient times. The Aborigines of Australia called it Mabon, which was the material through which their shamans and elders gained their magical powers. The Egyptians believed quartz had mystical healing abilities and would bury their dead with a piece of crystal on their forehead. The Greeks and Romans believed crystals were solid ice that had been formed by the gods and thus had mystical powers. Even to present day, people believe that crystals can help manifest their intentions. Perhaps that is because of the piezoelectric qualities of quartz. The reason why quartz can amplify radio signals: there are some places in the world where it's not uncommon to find crystals on the surface of the land. They are especially powerful because they have found you in their natural setting. Okay? So, like I was saying with wonders, just around the corner, exciting possibilities are just waiting for you. Wonders will be abounding in your life. Sometimes they won't be apparent at first, nevertheless, they are there. The more you see them and embrace them, the more these possibilities will grow in magnitude. Celebrate and cherish even the smaller ones, no matter how tiny they may seem. Let go of expectations. Don't limit the way you think that wondrous events could appear in your life. Be open. If you believe anything and everything is possible. So basically what I was saying, will wonders never cease? They said even if they're not there, they're there. Even if you can't see them, they're not there, but learn to embrace them. That could be a lesson you're meant to learn. I don't even know why I picked these cards up. That could be something that, we'll get into that even more. But it's definitely maybe telling you that crystals are a big thing. Maybe there's something you use in a past life. Because they did mention a lot of ancient civilizations. So since it is very fitting since we're doing a past life reading. So it could be telling you what past life you were possibly a part of. It says the Aborigines of Australia. Shaman. Maybe you could have been a shaman or you were an elder in these, what is it called? Cultures, ancient times. We have the Egyptians coming through. We have the Greeks, the Romans. So definitely, I think that has something to do with it. And it's funny how it's like, it launches you into a different timeline. So basically, people use crystals to make good things happen or to amplify abilities or to give them abilities. As they said, the shamans and elders gained their magical powers using the crystals. And it wasn't just amethyst or rose quartz. It's clear quartz, it's citrine, smoky quartz. So maybe these natural rock crystals were something you used in your practice in a past life, and it's something you should be using again. So if you found spirituality in this life, there's a reason, because you were a shaman or an elder in a past life, and these gifts were passed down to you. So it's just kind of giving me you're able to manifest things in your life very easily because you did so in a past life. It's like muscle memory. Once you are so able to do things or so used to doing something, it becomes effortless. So yeah, well, wonders never cease. Like, things are always around the corner for you, whether you don't see them coming or not. Things just happen. Serendipitous events in your life just happen. That's the vibe that I'm getting for you guys. So we're definitely gonna get into the tarot cards now and see who were you. So I guess this is the grounding energy of your group. Wonders. That's what you came here to learn in this life. Wonders. Will wonders ever cease? So we're going to get into the who are you in this past life. And I'm going to be using these things to ground your energy because I got them for Christmas. My sister got them for me. But at that point, I wasn't doing overhead readings where you would be able to see them properly. So it just popped into my mind today. I'm like, oh, what am I going to use? I said, hey, you have these. They just popped up in my head. So I'm like, okay, we can use these. So we're going to be using these to put the cards there to ground your energy, so I don't have to keep looking down, and we save space. Okay. So angel ancestors, I put myself in the collective group one, please. Who were they in this past life? Am I taking this card? We have the moon, so we're taking the card. I'm trying to figure out which side I want to put it on. So we have the moon for who were you. So it is definitely, tying into the whole shaman and healer, because the moon is definitely giving those vibes. Like, we use the moon for intuition. We use the moon for dreams. The moon is meant to find out hidden secrets, to uncover secrets sometimes, or to keep secrets sometimes. So if you were a shaman, you were someone who was meant to take the secrets from the universe, from the moon, from God, and bring them down. Take the knowledge from the Akashic records and bring it down, ground it, help people heal kind of vibe. So that's definitely tying into what you were. So, and we have the Tower at the bottom of the deck. You help people through Tower moments. So what did you do? So they were the moon. What did they do in this past life, please? So in the deck, moon is Pisces energy. So you may have been a Pisces in a past life, but as a whole, in regular everyday life, the moon is Cancer energy as well. So water signs galore. You could have been a water sign. You could have lived by the water. This is like giving ancient China kind of vibes, or Japan, I should say, because they are usually the ones who have the komodos. Could have been Japan. And then here we have the water lilies or lotuses. So what do they do in their past life? We have the Six of Coins. Yeah, you were someone who was very generous. You gave to people. Look at how we have her with a little furry friend. She's living in the mountains here, and she's giving freaking elder look. She has the marks and tattoos on her face. So definitely, okay, the book, I love how the readings just always come and sync up. Let me make sure I start recording, because sometimes it doesn't want to. Yes, you were definitely an elder, a shaman, all that, or both, honestly, because you become an elder the more you age. Okay. And look at how she has the forces of nature, the ants, the insects, bringing her abundance. So nature is very important to you. Like I said, water. Here we have earth kind of vibe. So we have that card. I'm going to put that there. Okay. I want to get one more card for what else did you do. So what did you do? You were definitely someone who gave back, and because you gave back, things were always easily given to you, or it was like you were just naturally gifted with the powers of like shamanism or healing. Like, you were just so much a part of nature, so enamored with the moon. You were meant to find those practices. You were meant to find those things that allowed you to use your wisdom for good. What else do they do, please, Spirit? We have 9 of Coins. Brought abundance. So you are definitely the people who are doing the rituals. I'm hearing to bring the rain, or to eradicate famine, or to feed everyone, to make sure the kids were, I'm hearing neutralized. I'm hearing also vaccinated, so maybe like literally you were healing diseases. I'm hearing in famine. There was something else that I was hearing, but it went away. What else am I hearing? Food. You knew where to go, where to search. You would know like how much longer or how far they would have to go before they reached food or water or protection. It's kind of gives me the vibes of, there's like some movies that I watch sometimes where you have to get up and run fast, and you don't know which way to go, because maybe you were being hunted, or there was a natural disaster you had to run from. You're the person who knew the natural disaster was coming and you had to leave. It's kind of giving me those Bible stories where those people were contacted by God, like, hey, a famine is coming, leave. Or what is it called? The Holy Ghost is coming, put lamb blood on your door. Or take the people, or was it Israelites? Take the Israelites and take them far away. Moses had to take them away. He parted the Red Sea. So you were like the leader of everyone, always knowing when things that were coming before they were coming kind of vibe. You were like getting signs, or you were very, like I said, attuned to nature. So you knew if a storm was coming, and you told people to, take shelter. You knew when a natural disaster was coming. You guys had to get up and leave, and kind of matriculate somewhere else, you know. You knew, oh, we're starving, there's no food here. Okay, you have to travel 3 days time, and then you'll find a place where there's food, where there's water, where there's shelter for us to move. And the people would go and scope it out first, of course, and then they would go. So you were someone who was always bringing abundance to the people around you. And it's funny how we have coins, we have pentacles coming through again. So you have Six of Pentacles and Nine of Pentacles. So it's just abundance, you know, being able to stand on your own 2 feet. Independence is also the vibe here. So you could have been someone who was very independent. You could have been a farmer, and you were and that you fed people, honestly, because that's what this is. You gave, you know. And you could have been someone who brought so many wonders that whenever people would come to you and ask you for help, they're just like, well, wonders never cease. Like, time and time again, you're coming and you're just like knowing what to say, knowing what I need before I even come here. You know what I mean? Just someone who's just so all knowing kind of vibe. And you could have gotten your powers from the moon. It's something that's coming through. Don't fall. I'm hearing trade, merchant. So you were very big on that as well in a past life, because we have the ships in the back here, and it's giving me ancient civilization where they would bring the ships, you would give them the food, and then they would travel. So you were like a distributor or something. Like I said, you planted the food and it fed many mouths. Very abundant in nature and energy. Okay, I don't want to take too long on those cards, so I'm gonna put that over there. And then can I get one more card for who were they, since we have an extra space on this side? Who were my group ones in this past life that we're talking about right now, that is affecting this specific one? Who were they, please? We have the Chariot. Yeah, see what was I saying? You led people to, I'm here in the motherland. You led people to salvation. You're the moon in the Chariot. You got your information from the moon, from source, and then you would just take it and lead people where they needed to go. Because this is like giving very commander energy. And look how we have water coming through. Wow. Yes, the Chariot is Cancer energy. And the moon is should be Cancer energy, but it's mostly Pisces energy. So we're getting a lot of water signs. So you live by a body of water, because even in this card here, the Nine of Pentacles, like I said, he has the water behind him. So for some of you, you came from a place where there was water, and you guys had like a lot of trade through the water. Others of you, you lived in the mountains, because we have a mountain here and then we have mountains there. So you live by mountains, you live by the water, you live by all that stuff. But really, it's like, look, the fish. You could have been on a boat as well. You could have been a leader or a commander on a boat, and you led people to where they were supposed to be. Sorry, just checking the mic is still recording. Um, yeah, that's just the vibe that I'm getting. Like, when anything was going wrong, you knew a storm was coming. Guys, you have to go. You know, you have 3 days before the storm comes, because you had a dream, essentially, with the moon. You know, you had prophetic dreams. You knew when things were coming, and you told everybody else and helped people, you know? So they're just like, oh my gosh, you know, every time you got it right. Like I said, the people were like, well, wonders never cease, child. Like with this person here, they are pure magic. They're pure light, you know, pure wonder, pure help. It's a pure healer, you know, is what I'm hearing as well. You could have been into astrology as well, because I'm looking into, yeah, I mean, with the moon and the stars, you study the sky, the cosmos. Okay, so I mean, studying the moon kind of comes to the territory. Astrology comes to the territory of studying the moon and the stars. So you could have been an astrologer in a past life, and you were telling people, hey, the stars are telling me something's coming, you know, things are different. Or you were the person, like during solar eclipse or lunar eclipse, you were telling people it's fine, it's cool, everything's okay, nothing's going wrong, like keeping the peace, you know. And I do feel like the Six of Pentacles is that kind of energy. When you're always constantly giving and receiving, there's always peace, because there's nothing that is out of balance, you know. So you kept the harmony. When anybody would get into like a quarrel or a fight, they would come to you and you would tell them, hey, everything's gonna be fine, relax, you know. It's like I'm hearing like tribunal. They came to you and you like would have a council, and you would tell people how to be punish other people, or how they should be treated properly, you know. But the Chariot always gives me commander in chief kind of energy. I'm telling you where you need to go. I'm in charge, you know. So you were definitely in charge. This card can go there. Okay, so now I want to get into this card. I want to kind of fall out. We have the Queen of Swords. Yeah, you were bringing knowledge. You were bringing truth. And like I said, you were laying down the law. And I just picked this card up. Yeah, that's what you were doing. You were definitely laying down the law. Let me bring this down some more. That's better. You were laying down the law. Why are you so far? Okay, sorry. Yeah. When people needed truth, they needed clarity, they needed light, they needed help, advice. You were the person they were coming to. Sorry, I keep messing up and jumbling up my words. Can both cards fit on this little rack here? Probably if I place them correctly. But I want the Chariot to be in front because they came out first. The Chariot and the Queen of Swords. Okay. Now we're going to get into, I think you got into the what you did. So now I want to get into how is it affecting this specific life. How is what they did in that past life affecting this specific life? And I think that's the energy. You're so easily able to manifest things. You could use crystals to amplify your abilities. If you don't use crystals, this card is telling you should use crystals because you did in the past life. How is this past life affecting their current one, please? We have the Knight of Cups in reverse. Queen of Wands, confidence in yourself. You have the Lovers in reverse. So why the two cards representing love and romance are coming out in reverse? So maybe it's affecting your current life and like a negative love. Okay, so it's affecting your love life negatively in this life where it seems like you're unable to find love because maybe you were someone who was so closed off. So I do feel like in these kinds of communities, the elders, the shamans, I don't think they take spouses. I'm not too well versed in shamanism or anything like that. So just take this with a grain of salt. But I do feel like once you have those kinds of abilities, it's hard for you to meet your match. So it could have led to like loneliness and you were just always by yourself, being a channel for spirit to the people around you, you know. You were making magic, making things happen, manifesting things, leading people to, like I said, the motherland where things are always abundant and good, where they could find food, shelter, you know. You were so used to being that person, maybe you never took on a relationship. And that past life is affecting this one in a way where you can never find a stable partner, you know. It's affecting your love life negatively because you're someone who knows what they want. And you're so confident in yourself and what you can bring to the table. It's a little intimidating to people. So because you were so powerful in a past life, it trickled down into this life, allowing you to become this powerful spitfire, you know, always ready to explode kind of energy. Maybe like a little boasty, show offy, maybe like easily angry. You know, they call it passionate, you know, very passionate individual. And a lot of people are scared of people who are overly passionate, you know, in any kind of way. I do feel like it makes them a little hard to control, is what I'm hearing. So you're someone who's hard to control. People don't know what to expect from you. You know, your actions cannot be tracked because you do different things different times. You're always in a different mood when somebody sees you, so they never know what to expect, and that can be a little scary. You know. And then of course we have the volcano in the back, so you're just always hot headed and ready to like erupt on people maybe, and that's affecting your love life negatively. It's kind of like, you know what, I know what I bring to the table. I'm not accepting scraps. Here we have strength. And okay, so it wants to be upright. We have strength. And then we have the Page of Coins in reverse. I'm hearing it makes it hard for you to have a regular 9 to 5 job, to hold down a regular 9 to 5 job because you weren't used to that. So if you do find yourself someone who is hard to adapt to a 9 to 5, you find it hard to stay in a 9 to 5 job, to get a 9 to 5 job, to keep a 9 to 5 job. All of those apply. I feel like it's because of this past life you had where you weren't doing all of that. Your abilities go way beyond the regular 9 to 5 job. You're not supposed to be doing that, you know. Maybe it can make you a little indecisive. Here, the Lovers, because Lovers does represent decision making sometimes. So you can be indecisive. I'm getting Libra energy. You know, the Lovers is Gemini energy. Um, Strength is Leo energy as well. So yes, your strength, you're not not having to back down. It's giving inner strength and outer strength. You don't let life get you down. You just constantly push and push, and you keep going. And that is very intimidating to others. They never see you weak. They always see you strong. Okay, whether you are able to be weak, whether you've been through things or not, you always come off as someone who has everything together. You're the one, like I said, leading the charge here, because the Queen of Wands is the feminine representation of power, leadership. You're gonna do what I say, you know. So it's like you just whip people into shape. Is what I'm hearing, and that's intimidating, especially if you're a feminine. It's intimidating for masculines to deal with a strong woman, you know, and which is something we're very much dealing with in this day and age, where men want someone to submit to them, they want someone to be weak, they want someone to stay at home, or they want someone to take care of them, and you're definitely not that person, you know. Yes, you do have like a very caring side to you, but you're not gonna let some man I heard tell you what to do, and it could be because your ancestors are kind of telling you that. Because even back in the day, it was the females who was doing everything. They had to carry the babies on their back while they were being enslaved and having to work the land all day. And they were doing everything. The men, they were doing things too. But I kind of feel like most of the trauma was placed on the maternal line. So you just have a bunch of strength and resilience on your back from past times to this time. And it's like nothing can break you, no matter how much things you go through in life. You're not someone who can be easily broken, and that in and of itself is intimidating. And it could, like I said, cause trouble in your dating life, where people are like, "Oh, you're too strong for me," you know, "You're too this, you're too that," which I know is very annoying. If you have everything together, what can I provide you? What can I help you with? Like I don't have anything to give you, and it makes people like maybe run. Like I said, feel intimidated. How rude. I'm also hearing you may have a hard time like believing in yourself. I mean, I feel like you do definitely. To the outside world, you come off as someone who believes in yourself, but it's like carrying, like I'm hearing imposter syndrome. Maybe you're definitely someone who doesn't realize how powerful you truly are because you feel like an imposter. Even because like I said, this knowledge and wisdom from these past lives is in you, but because you don't may not remember the past life, not remember just how powerful you truly were. When you do tap those abilities, and it's like, oh, that was just a one-off. That was a one-time thing. That was a good luck charm. When you're able to easily manifest in your life and wonders are constantly coming through your life. I don't deserve that. That was just a coincidence kind of thing, like not fully believing in the power that you truly wield is what I'm getting as well. Which is like why we have the lovers in reverse, very indecisive or maybe a little wishy-washy, it's like someone who needs to grow into that confidence or learn that you truly are just someone who's magical. These are not coincidences. They're happening because you're making them happen. You're capable of manifesting wonders in your life and other people's lives because you did it in a past life, kind of thing. Yeah, the page of coins that is giving me, you have a hard time holding that a 9 to 5 job. You just don't feel comfortable there because that's not what you're used to doing. You're not used to going into the office, sitting there all day, typing into a machine and then going home. Like you're used to more exciting, mystical, magical. So if you always find yourself attracted to things that are magical, mystical, the occult, the things that are hidden, like the taboo stuff, even relationship wise, that could be why you are having troubles in your relationship because you're attracted to the taboo. Maybe people who are so much older than you because you're an old soul being reincarnated on this life and you're not like, yeah, we have a picture of coins universe. You don't find yourself attracted to or um interested in people your own age or younger than you. You only want people who are older than you, and that's like taboo. Putting it as taboo. That's not very common. Like, oh, you're not supposed to be with someone who's older than you. You're supposed to be with someone who's your age. And you're like, well, I don't feel connected to people that are my age, so I think I'll stick with what I'm doing. Let's bring that down a little. Sorry. So you're attracted to all things taboo, out of the ordinary. And I think that is another reason why you scare people off. like you're crazy, you know what I mean? You go and look for trouble, or trouble always happens to find you, or exciting events always seem to find you, you know? And people like, you're just, you know, not even crazy. Crazy things are always happening to you. I don't think I want to be around you, kind of thing. And it is like in a way your energy is so powerful that you attract crazy people. You may become, like I said, overly impassioned sometimes, and that scares people. Um, you cause eruptions in their life, things that were bubbling underneath the surface. You cause that to finally erupt and for them to deal with their issues. You know, I was watching. I've explained this before in a reading. You know, where you bring about people's death, where they have to, or their judgment moment, where they have to, you know, choose to become better, to awaken, you know, because just being around you and you being into the occult, you being into crystals, tarot, astrology, all those different things. I'm hearing root work, root magic, you being into those things, they are something by association, you know, not guilty by association, but just being in your life means they're going to be coming in contact with these things. And that just automatically awakens something in them, you know, where you have to grow, you have to become knowledgeable about different things. You have to open your mind, expand your consciousness. And that may scare people away if they're not ready for that, because you're awakening them. Your energy is like an awakening force in people's lives where they have to change and grow. And things that were once working for them, but they were trying to hide and, you know, keep hidden or not try to deal with, they have to end up dealing with, because that is what being on a spiritual journey is about: dealing with your demons, dealing with your dark, dealing with your shadow, becoming friends with your shadow, and, you know, just becoming enlightened each and every single day, learning new things, you know, becoming more powerful. So it's like yeah, guilty by association. So because you're putting in all this work to become someone who's impassioned and powerful, you know, because the Queen of Wands is very powerful, the leader, you know, always people, you're always helping people, guiding them, you know, they have to do that as well if they want to be in your life. And that scares people away, you know? Romantic partners, you're not someone who's in it for the puppy love, you're in it for the long-term love, and that could scare people away as well. But yeah, Page of Coins, you're not into that regular jobs, you're not into regular relationships, you're not into just, I'm hearing boring. You can't live a life that's boring, which is why things may always be happening to you, and you're always manifesting these crazy things to happen, because you can't live a life that's boring. And like I said, if these people are going to be in your life, these events that are happening to you are also going to affect them, and they may affect them negatively or in a way they're not ready to, you know, realize yet or deal with, and they run. So you end up being lonely or on your own by yourself, independent kind of vibe, hyper independent, overly independent, you know. So it could have been, I don't know, it could have been parental figures, family figures that were supposed to be there for you that abandoned you from small. Because, like I said, even when you were younger, you were someone who saw too much, who was too smart, and people couldn't like hide things from you. And like I said, even then, you were kind of making people like, it's like, you know what I mean, a judgmental child, where a parent is doing things they know they're not supposed to be doing, and usually we have some kids who are just blind to it. They're a child, you know, they look at the child, they look at life through childlike lenses, and they're not understanding the repercussions or why things are happening for a specific reason. You were never that child. You were the child with all too knowing eyes, and people always felt like you were judging them, or you knew too much, or you saw more than you were letting on kind of vibe, or knew more than you were letting on. And that scares people, so they could have run and abandoned you. You know, parental figures, like I said, family, friends kind of vibe. They weren't ready for your brand of wisdom or knowledge or um expanded consciousness or your wisdom kind of thing, and it makes them run. And good riddance, okay? You know, if you can't handle the heat, get out of the kitchen. They couldn't handle your heat, your passion, your fire, so it makes them run. Aggression is what I'm hearing, so people may call you aggressive. That's a freaking, I hate that word, because it's just unfairly, I'm not, like, if you're not a woman of color, then this is not for you, or it could be for you as well, but that is something that is a stigma that is just stamped onto Black women or women of color. You're aggressive, you're overly passionate, but where a Black woman would be condemned for it, someone who is maybe Latina or Latinx, oh yeah, we love your passion, but it's called anger in Black women. So it's just kind of like things like that are constantly, like, you know, being thrown onto you kind of vibe. Mm. But yeah, you're definitely someone who's magical. You're instinctively magical, or instinctually magical, where things just happen. You made things happen. And you're just like, oh my gosh, like, even me, because I'm not trying to bring me into your reading, but I have an example how, like, when I was younger, I would always just think of things like, I want to be that person's friend. I want this. I want that. And just by me asking for it, I got it. Like, I just, and just thinking about it now, like, as it's just like, it's crazy how you don't realize things until it's like, you know, hindsight is 2020. So I was like, it's funny how I always wanted this person to be my friend. They always ended up being my friend. And I didn't realize what I was doing, but now I'm like, oh damn, like, you was out here manifesting. Like, there was this boy next door, like, he was like not someone I should have been hanging out with or whatever when I used to live in Florida. And he was like, you know, cool, the kind of hood kind of person, like, you know, just was friends with everybody. I think he used to be doing. And we're back. So the freaking microphone died, which I knew was gonna happen. I don't know. I didn't check it enough or long enough, and it died. So I think I stopped off, or it cut off. I checked, and it was like where I was like, there was a boy next door, and he would like do like, I know he wasn't doing the up and up things. Like, he was in high school, he was like, you know, always friends with everyone, maybe because he was selling things to them that may not have been needed to be sold, kind of vibe. And I'm like, oh my gosh, he's so cool, I want to be his friend, you know what I mean? And me was being nowhere near that, being the nerdy, not even, I wouldn't say I was nerdy, but I was like very quiet, shy, kind of not in that kind of world, but wanting to be his friend anyway. I don't know how I ended up being friends with him, but I did. And I look back on it, and even now I'm like, wow, like, you would just think I didn't even say it out loud, or sometimes I would just think, like, oh, I want to be that person's friend, and like somehow, some way, I would like end up being acquainted with that person, or I would ask for a specific device and I would get it. And I'm just like, that kind of thing. And I'm looking back and I'm like, oh my gosh, like, you were out here manifesting stuff. Even then, you just didn't know it was called manifestation. You didn't know what you were doing. And it's like, that is kind of the vibe that you're giving me here. And there's a lot of other stuff that I said. I'm trying to remember. So annoying. I hate this freaking microphone, man. Like, I was on a roll too, and I'm like, yeah. Basically, yes, you're just someone who's very strong and passionate. People being around you just launch them into spiritual awakenings, and if they're not up for that task, they end up running. If they are, they stick around. So basically, I also said that you were someone who, like I said, you're not built for a 9-to-5 job. You're someone who can't help but be connected or attracted to the stars, to the moon, to a higher purpose than yourself. You came here to heal. You didn't come here to go to a job, type on a computer, then go home. You came here to elevate, to, you know, awaken, like I said, everybody else or anyone who comes in contact with you, kind of thing. And I do feel like it has a lot to do with love as well, which is something that I was saying, because we have a page of coins in reverse and a knight of coins in reverse, but you're coming through as a queen, and you came through as a queen to pass out with the queen of swords. And it's kind of like, if you feel like certain relationships are not working, it's because these people are not up to par with you. They cannot be in the same group as you. You're a queen, and you need someone who is on that same maturity level as you, whether you're younger than them or not, or above that, okay? And a knight is not up to par with a queen, neither is a page. And like I pointed out, isn't it crazy how those two came out in reverse? So it's like, you're not meant to be with pages or knights in this world or in this life. You're meant to be with someone who's a king of wands, king of pentacles, king of swords, king of cups, or at most an emperor, you know? Maybe even a hierophant, why not? Or even a hermit, someone who's always, you know, who is dedicated to learning more, who's dedicated to their spiritual journey, to know more than you or know just as much as you. You know, you're not meant to be with someone beneath that. So like I said, whether you end up being younger than people you are in a relationship with, it doesn't matter, because you're meeting them at your maturity level. Whether that happens to be you're 20-something and your maturity level is 40-something, and you end up being with people who are that age. Like, there's something like taboo, like I said, about this. You know, you don't do things as everyone else does it. So it could end up with you dating people who are older than you, feeling attracted to people who are older than you, or like I said, on the same maturity level as you, kind of vibe. And that doesn't include a knight or a page. You're not supposed to be in a regular 9-to-5 job. You know what I mean? You're definitely someone who is very strong-willed, very stubborn, very just, you know, it's like even unbreakable kind of vibe. No matter how much you go through, it doesn't keep you down for long, okay? And it does mostly affect love life. Like I said, if you don't find a partner that is up on the same level or above you, it's not going to work, you know? I'm trying to see what else I said, because I did, there's like a whole 4 minutes of me talking that got cut off, and I'm trying to remember everything I said. Is that everything? And I'm hearing that you can't be tamed, which is the Miley Cyrus song, because look at how the crocodile is supposed to be taming her, but she's actually taming the crocodile, you know? You're someone whose energy can't be tamed. Your light can't be tamed. You know what I mean? You're not someone who can be wrangled. You're the wrangler. What else was I saying? I think I did mention a reader that I was watching. I usually describe the energy as you just transform people, and she was describing the energy like you're a Kali Ma, or what else did she say? Where you just launch people, or a segment, you know, where they're they don't allow anybody to rule over them. They are the one who's ruling over others kind of vibe. So you kind of bring that karma, that intense healing energy, whether you want to or not, kind of vibe, you know, a little bit scary, very much intimidating, you know, may always be looked at as a bad thing, but it's not. Because the way you're always elevating, you need someone who's always elevating as well, you know, which is why you may come through like a wrecking ball, you know. I use that a lot. You may come through as like a sledgehammer, you know, come through as a volcano, where if you're not ready to, you know, meet me, it may lead to you being frustrated and you erupt on people and get upset because you don't like to deal with stupidity, ignorance, that kind of thing, you know. But yeah, you may deal with imposter syndrome because you're someone who is connected to the stars, to the moon. And when things just pop up or happen in your life, you don't understand why. And you're just like, oh, I didn't do that. There are always coincidences, you know. Oh, I manifested that by accident, or it just so happened to come. And it's like, no, you did it on purpose. It happened for a reason. You made it happen. And you need to realize that. And you're like, oh, no, that wasn't me. And it's like, it was you, because you have this energy from past lives. You used to be a shaman, you bring that, or a healer, or someone who was very spiritually connected to the occult and all that kind of stuff, you know. I'm hearing medium as well. And it's like you brought that with you into this life. So when things happen, it's because you made them happen, okay? I think that's all that I was saying. And then also at the bottom of the deck, I remember I showed the tower energy. So it's like you represent this tower moment in people's lives. They can either grow with you, you know what I mean? Grow, learn, evolve, or they just end up hopping from the tower, and they end up hopping from the tower. You know, those knights and those pages. The people who are the same age as you or younger, you're like, I can't deal with those people. So if you find yourself not able to, you know, relate with people of your age, then there's a reason. Because your maturity level, your old soul is just so much higher, you know, like so much more evolved than theirs. You may have to deal with a whole bunch in life, and you just don't get along with people who want to go out and drink and smoke, and that's just not you, because you want to read a book, you want to go into the stars. So if you were someone who's attracted to things that are magical, you know what I mean, it was for a reason, because you're not supposed to be a regular kind of person, you know. So we're going to get into the rest of the cards. We have Radiance here, which is the Queen of Swords. These cards flew out before I looked down and realized, you know, or these came out before I looked down and realized we weren't recording anymore. So we have Radiance, which is definitely giving sun energy. I know St. John's wort is like an herb, or like a sage or something that you could use. So maybe you're supposed to use that. Look at how she's running with the animals. And that's what I was getting here, the 6 of coins up here. So yeah, here we have retreat. People may retreat from you because they're scared. You know what I mean? And here we have Jupiter energy with sun energy. So you are this retreat for others as well. Good things happen because Jupiter's expansion, the sun and Jupiter together, is freaking powerful, I would say. So we have Reishi, I think is how it's pronounced. Here we have ancient memory, which is also what I was talking about, which is like a muscle memory, where you come here, you know certain things, you knew certain things, and you're just like, I can't get into this regular life, you know? This regular life ain't for me, child, you know? This ancient memory just kicks in and you know how to do certain things. You make how to manifest certain things kind of vibe, because you're tapping into that ancient memory you have from that past life where you were the shaman. Okay, we have rosemary, which is also a very particular powerful herb that you can use as well to clear energy. So maybe you're being guided to use more rosemary, more St. John's wort, St. John's wort, Jesus, crystals. Here we have magician. Oh my freaking gosh, bro, stop playing. They said what they said, and that's it. That's it. You're the magician. You bring radiance, you bring magic, you know. You give people a retreat to come to if they need help. You are their retreat kind of vibe. And then we have intuition, that moon coming through again. Yeah. And look, we have the amethyst. See, so this could have been an amethyst. I did pick up on that. An amethyst used for, you know, intuition as well, to build and boost your intuition. Here we have the Ace of Cups. You're meant to realize, like, we're getting onto what's the lesson you were meant to learn. You're meant to realize that anything you want is possible. You have the sun here working for you. You have the moon here working for you. You have the stars working for you. And we have this cup that is constantly supposed to be overflowing. You're supposed to be overflowing with knowledge, with wisdom, with love to give to yourself and to others. You know, do not, what is it called, settle for pages and nights. No. We only attract, and it's like with that imposter syndrome, you attract what you believe you deserve, you know? Your vibe attracts your tribes. If you believe you're someone who's low vibrational, you believe when people tell you you're aggressive, you're too passionate, you're too this, you're too up in the clouds, those are the kind of people you're going to continuously attract. Once you come to the realization that, hey, I'm this freaking Queen of Wands, I'm the freaking moon, you know what I mean? I can attract great love. That's what you start to attract, you know? But once you start believing in that, only can your cup start overflowing with love for yourself and for others, and to attract that love in return, you know? The love you give is the love you're going to receive. Yeah. You're a perfect combination of the sun and the moon. Like, yeah, you're just powerful, honestly, because we have the Wonders card here, we have the Magician card here, we have the Radiance card, we have the Ancient Memory. So basically, I feel like it's confirming everything that I was saying in the card. And then look at how in one of the cards we had a lotus. Yes, and it's in the freaking moon card. You're gonna stop playing in my face. Look, we have the moon with the lotus flowers, or the water lilies, but they did look like lotuses. And then in the same intuition card, the moon is intuition, we have blue lotus. So what you telling me? Okay, so what else are we gonna pull from? What lesson you were meant to learn? Let's pull some more cards from here. Solitude. I think that is what is affecting you as well. Solitude, thinking that you have to be by yourself because you can't find anyone that's up to par on your same level. So what lesson you're meant to learn? We have success. Like I said, you can manifest anything that you know. You can do anything you set your mind to. You're powerful. Like I said before, you just think it's coincidences when you end up getting what you want, when it really is just you. Now imagine what you can do if you apply that energy instead of just allowing it to show up as coincidences, you know? If you apply it and actively manifest it, actively believe in yourself, just imagine what you can do with the success you can, what is it called, attract to yourself. You have flexibility. And that's what I'm getting with the whole, that 9-to-5 job is not for you. You need a job where you're able to be flexible, or you need a career where you're able to be flexible. Your time is flexible, where you still feel like you're on a retreat, you're calm, you're cool kind of vibe. I don't think you're supposed to be stuck or set in one schedule. I think you need to allow flexibility and flow in your life, you know, because water keeps coming through, and that's what that cup here is representing as well. Being by water, so water can be important for you. You find yourself attracted to the water because we have the Chariot by the water, the Moon by the water, the 9 of Coins by the water, you know? So water is very much important to you. Flexibility, flexible like water. Malleable like water. Mutable like water. Water can go from being hot to being ice, to being, you know, liquid, to being a gas. condensation. I'm sorry, I'm not giving you a science lesson right now. Here we have thriving. So we have success and thriving. That's the lessons you're meant to learn in this life, that you need to live a flexible life. A free life is what I'm hearing, because we have the tiger here, and tigers are definitely very free, fierce energy. Tap into that fierce energy is coming over Queen of Wands. You're supposed to be fierce. Do not back down from that energy, whether it scares people or not. That's not your problem. That's very much a them problem. If they're scared of your intensity, your passion, your power, very much a them problem. And here we have relaxation. What was I saying? Yeah. You're not supposed to be sitting here stressing over 9 to 5. You're supposed to be living a life of luxury, a life of leisure, okay? A life that is flexible. One day you can get up and go and travel somewhere. The next day you can be reading a book in a hammock under the full moon. So hard work, strife is not your birthright in this life. You're here to learn that you're meant to thrive, be successful, be flexible. It's also giving me, like I said, regular 9 to 5 that allow you to pursue multiple interests or avenues of interest. You want to do this and that and that. You know, it's giving a manifesting generator. You came here with multiple passions. So be flexible. Do not think you're stuck with in only one box, you know? And then remember to relax. We have relax and we have retreat. Like, what are you telling me? Nothing. The cards are carding. They said what they said. And at the bottom of the deck, we have standstill. So knowing when to stop, knowing when to be at rest, like I said, is a vibe that's coming through for you guys, okay? You're getting like very feline-esque creatures. We have the panther, and then we have the tiger. So very protective, sometimes scary, looking cute and cuddly. Because I mean, I don't care. Nobody tell me. I would want to cuddle a panther, especially the baby ones. I don't want to cuddle a tiger, especially the baby ones. I don't want to cuddle a lion, especially the baby ones. I don't care. Nobody tell me, because they're cute, okay? They can be cute and cuddly and playful, but then also one slap of their hand, they knock you out. You know, one bite from you and they just rip out your intestines, you know? So you're not someone to be trifled with. That's what you need to realize and understand about yourself in this life. You're not someone to be messed with, okay? You're meant to find a partner that is of equal caliber or more caliber. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. Now we have this deck here that I pulled out that just has like random stuff. It's the Night School deck. What is it? The Night School Moonlit Magic deck. So I don't know. We're just gonna see what comes out, because this is like a very random, not random, like a very not out there either. Just a very, you know, reading where you can just, anything can come out, anything can happen, anything can come through, you know? I know there's ancient places in this. I know there's zodiac signs. I know there's just words of wisdom. So maybe these could be things that you need to focus on, you know? Since this is the Night School, things you need to learn in this life. You should be focused on learning in this life. Take this as that. There's a lot of different stuff in here. I can't even begin to explain. See what they're saying about ancient sites. We have all that in here. How many is that? That is enough. So the first card we had come out is water. Wow. Stop playing. We have water is one of the 4 elements in the tarot deck. Water aligns with cups. In astrology, it is represented by Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. That coming through again. So add Scorpio into that list with Cancer and Pisces. And we have water is mutable and can change forms. And what was I just talking about? Stop playing. Keywords for this element are cleanse and flow. So cleanse and flow. Okay, I'm gonna put that there. The next one we have is Ancient Sites Research, which is Angkor Wat, Cambodia. What is the connection between the site and the sense of the sacred? What is the connection to this time and the calendar? How was this site originally used and how has it evolved? So maybe you need to do some research on this specific site here, because it may tie into a past life, or maybe someplace you're meant to visit to kind of turn on your abilities kind of vibe, because you could have lived the past life here where you were a shaman, where you were a healer, and by visiting that place you used to live, it may, you know, awaken you even more to your abilities and what you're here to do, okay? So maybe do some research into that site, or just maybe by doing research online, you're gonna be able to learn more about a past life you had, okay? Here we have Scrying the Stars. What was I saying about stars? With the question in mind, gaze at the night sky. What catches your eye? Use your star map to figure out which constellation you noticed. If it was a single star, see which constellation it's a part of. Research your constellation stories. How is that what you're reading applicable to your question? Wow, that's powerful. So if you ever need help figuring out something, and look at how it's coming over the kind of night sky with the stars kind of vibe, or I'm hearing the Serengeti is what this card is giving me here. So maybe you had a past life in the Serengeti, and I know this night sky is beautiful there because there's no freaking dusty buildings. It's pure nature. And that is where these wild cats be at. There's panthers over there, there's tigers over there, there's lions over there. You know what I mean? So maybe you're supposed to live a life in the wild, and you're, you know, not supposed to be in, you know, cities and 9-to-5 jobs, you know, where everything's like more urban. Maybe you're supposed to live in rural places. And that could be where you're meant to travel, you know, very nature focused places. I'm like, what am I trying to say? But yeah, scrying the stars. They said if you have a question, look at the night sky. And if you can't see the sky, that's a problem. Because that's very heavily tuned, very heavily connected to the past life you were living. Looking at the stars and being able to see the stars. In New York where I live, I can't see nothing, child. So if you live in New York where I live, or anywhere, like a city where you're not able to see the stars, they're telling you you need to spend more time in places where you can see the stars. Like, okay, we have amplify your intuition coming through again. Intuition. Your body is constantly reading information from the world, but most of that information comes in forms of your conscious brain. Your conscious brain can't quite process. Try free writing, recalling your dreams, or noticing patterns to amplify your intuition and give this information a form your conscious mind can work with. So it's kind of like your body receives intuition and intuitive hits, not through words, feelings, repeated symbols, repeated maybe sounds. And unless your body is tuned into those sounds, or tuned into your dreams where, you know, the moon intuition comes into play the most, you're not going to be able to understand what's going on. So it's kind of like, don't think about it, just start writing something, and maybe the messages you've been looking for will come through that way. If you may not be able to describe the stars and find your answers, you can always use amplify your intuition to get messages that you can understand or learn to decipher. Okay. Oh boy, here we have let the moon be your pocket watch. We're going to stop with these repeating themes, okay? We have research how the moon can be used to mark the hours of the night. So maybe that's something you also did in a past life, and it's something you can inherently do. And if you put some time into it, you learn that it's like a muscle. Like I said, once you start using that muscle more, that ancient memory will kick in. And last card we have is ancient sites research. We have another one. We have Temple of Amun at Karnak. So these are places you could have lived, places you could have been. We have Angkor Wat, Cambodia. We have the Temple of Amun, or Amun. And I think Amun is like or Amun is the sun god in, is it chapter? Some freaking some religion, some spiritual religion. I feel like Amun is like a god of the sun, you know. So Temple of Amun at Karnak can be important as well. The same questions of what was the connection between the site and the sense of the sacred. So basically, why is it considered a sacred site? What was the connection to time and the calendar? And how was the site originally used, and how has it evolved? Okay, so the same questions they're gonna ask, but I do feel like it has different meanings. But honestly, that's all I have for you guys before I keep talking in circles. Okay, I'm seeing here, sorry, I have to stretch. I'm looking at these cards, and here, if you can even see them, I'm not even sure. Let me see if you can even see them. Like, I don't want to make too much noise. Yes, you can. Okay, cool. So we have 2 here, which is, you know, High Priestess energy. We have 3, which is Empress energy, and we have 5, which is Hierophant energy. So definitely powerful. Like I said, if you want to find love in this lifetime, just be aware that you are the High Priestess, and you need to find your Hierophant. You know what I mean? And I did say that before. I remember now. When you got cut off, I'm like, you need a king, you need an emperor, or even Hierophant, or a hermit, someone who's always constantly looking for, you know, learning, you know, knowledge, wisdom, elevation, awakening kind of thing. So like I said, we have the 2, which is the high priestess, and the 5, which is the hierophant. So definitely you need to be looking for your hierophant, someone who knows as much or more than you. Boom. And then remember, you're the empress. You kind of manifest whatever you want. And then we have 4, we have emperor coming through with 40. And then we also have the magician, so maybe find you a magician too. So it's giving all major arcana archetypes or kings, at least, is what I'm hearing. No lower than a king. Okay? Just putting that out there. Anyway, I know ginseng is a tea. Maybe you have to drink more of that. And ginseng is very big in Asian cultures, and that was kind of coming through with the moon here. We had, I said China, Japan in the beginning. That could be a place where you were before, in a past life. And their eyes are giving me very chinky as well. Not to be discriminatory, because my eyes can be chinky too when they're ready. Hey, behave. So yeah, maybe you have a past life. And because we had Cambodia come out, I know it was giving Japan, it was giving China, you know. And then we have ginseng tea, which is like a very big tea they drink in the Asian culture. So definitely had a past life in Asian. And it's like kind of giving me Katara and them from Avatar: The Last Airbender. So you could have like a past life in the nations where Native American and Asians came together, you know, if that makes sense. Because I remember how people were always like, oh my gosh, Katara was black in Avatar. And I'm like, no, she wasn't. She was a part of the tribes in the Asian cultures that are native, you know, that have the hair that are, and like, you know, yeah, look, yeah, she has like, there's ice-capped mountains, and she needs to have like a big heavy coat because it's cold where she comes from. So for some of you, like I said, she has the chinky eyes as well. So it's like giving the Kataras, where they lived in the freaking water nation, but where it was freezing cold and they were always in their big quilt coats kind of vibe, you know. So you came from clans, Native American culture. That's where Katara's tribe, you know, trickles down from in the Asian culture. So yeah, that's definitely coming through heavily. And tea was very big for Iroh and Avatar: The Last Airbender as well. So just to help you guys understand that better, I feel like that was a good example. Like Katara and Sokka, their tribes in Avatar: The Last Airbender were still Asian, but were of a darker complexion because they were native. You know? You know what I mean. You know what I mean. Anyway, that's all I have for you guys. I hope the shooting resonated. If it did, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Join the tribe, the Divine Family. Love to have you. If you would ever like to book a personal reading, you can always get in contact with me. Use my email in the description box below. But I hope you're having a beautiful, wonderful day whenever you're watching this video. And as always, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye. Hello, my gorgeous group 2s. Welcome to your reading. Today, we will be getting into the topic of which of your past lives is affecting this one and how. This is definitely subscriber suggested. So thank you to the subscriber who suggested this. You know who you are. I wonder what pile she's going to choose. And I feel like every time I mention that in a reading she suggested, the one that I said in is the one she chose. So I don't know. We'll see. So we're going to be getting into who were you in this past life? What did you do in this past life that may have warranted, you know, what you're experiencing in this life, whether it's good karma, bad karma, you know, there's no such thing as good or bad karma. Karma is just karma, you know. It doesn't have a negative or a positive charge, just like, hey, you know. And then we're going to get into how is it affecting this specific past life, this life that you're in, Jesus. And what's the lesson you're meant to learn. So I thought this reading was going to be cute and short, but I don't even know how long group 1s went, but I know it was over 40 minutes probably. So, you know, just tuck in. If you were looking for a short reading, I guess that's not in the plan today. It's going to be a longer reading. And I didn't even pull that many tarot cards, but there was so many messages coming through from just those few. So I'm like, okay, heard you. It may be longer, it may be shorter for you guys, we don't know, but just like I said, buckle up, buttercup. We're gonna see. As you can see, we have these cute little thingies here, and these are like things that my sister like got me for Christmas, and I'm like, I couldn't use them because at that point I didn't have the setup where you guys were seeing anything from overhead. So I'm like, it makes no sense to use them because you won't be able to see them, but now I can because you can see them. And they're like card holders, so you kind of like, you would put a card there like that. I'm like, how cute it is. You probably can't see how cute it is because I don't know how it looks from over. I mean, you can kind of see it. That's good enough for me. But it looks so cute. So I can now use it, so I'm definitely going to be using it. So let's just get into your reading now. These are going to be like the energies I feel like you're meant to learn in this life. That's kind of what I use, like an anchoring energy, a grounding energy for like this life, you know. Since we're getting so heavily into a past life, we need a grounding energy of what's going on in this life, I guess, you know. Oh, but this also helped me get into past life energy. So we're going to get into the book for these. Here we have inner peace and we have miracles. That is what I think you were meant here to, you came here to learn, or you were reborn, or a lesson you're supposed to learn in this life. Jesus, how am I going to say it properly? Here we have inner peace, going with the flow with the 2 fish. These fish, I believe they're koi fish, and they always give me Twee and La from Avatar: The Last Airbender, where they were, I feel like Iroh said they wanted to be spirits, because they used to be, yin and yang used to be the spirits in the spirit world, but they gave up their eternal life, I believe. Not eternal life, but they gave up their, because once you're in the spirit world, you're a spirit. You can't be killed or touched or anything. They gave up that to be 2 koi fish in the pond in, like, I think it was the southern or northern water tribe in the show. So basically Iroh said, or who knows, it was either Iroh or what that crusty dusty bad guy name was, Admiral Zhao. It was one of them, because they told us a story of Twee and La, which was yin and yang, and they basically, they gave up like being in a spirit to be in the mortal 3D. So they gave up a world, a life in the 5D where they can't be seen, touched, or harmed, to have a life in the 3D where they could be harmed. So where before they wouldn't have been able to be touched, they were now 2 fish in the northern air temple. I'm not air temple, child. In the northern water temple. And that is how Admiral Zhao was able to kill them and literally get rid of the moon. Because yin and yang is sun and moon. He wanted to get rid of the moon to attack the northern air temple, to like completely kill all of them. Okay? And he was just crazy, honestly. So he killed one of the fish. I'm trying to remember if it was Twee or La. He killed one of them, child. And killed the moon, essentially. So I don't know where I'm going with this. But that's what these 2 fish here are giving me, yin and yang. So you're supposed to balance those 2 energies in this life. Okay, that's what I'm getting. Okay. We have some flowers here. I'm not completely sure what flower this is, but like I said, I'll get more into it once I read into the book. And here we have miracles. You're supposed to, like I said, balance that basically masculine, feminine energy, yin and yang, to allow for miracles to come into your life. Once you balance those energies, then miracles will, I'm hearing, trickle on in. So we're going to read from the book and see what it says. Yeah, okay, so right to it. We have lily ponds. So these are lilies. Okay, I'm like, I don't know what flower this is. I'm not good with flowers. We have simply sitting next to a lily pond, watching the dragonflies soar overhead and looking at the luminous lily pads floating gently on the water, while their translucent flowers open their petals to the heavens, can fill one with a sense of profound and everlasting peace. Lilies grow many centuries. Lilies grow in many countries. I can't read now. That's crazy. Lilies grow in many countries and have been given a wide range of meanings. However, one enduring image of the lily is the notion that out of the darkness and mud arises a thing of immense beauty and grace. So are water lilies and lotuses the same thing? Because this exact same thing came through in group 1. So maybe you felt called to group 1 too. No matter how much darkness there has been in your life, you can rise into enlightenment and profound tranquility. So inner peace is your birthright. Tranquility occurs when you realize that your life is unfolding according to divine planning. Serenity isn't something you have to work for or search for. It already exists within you. To find this inner peace, simplify your life. Spend time in nature and listen to the message of your soul. True peace transcends fear and connects you intimately to the Creator. Breathe deeply and fully, knowing that all is well. Okay, and they said what they said. See, hold up. Serenity isn't something you have to work for or search for. Like, I feel like that ties into the story that I was saying in some kind of way, but it's not coming through yet. Like, there's a reason why the two of them gave up basically immortality in the spirit world to be in the 3D, to live in the moment, to be in the now, to experience that peace they were experiencing, because they were constantly going in a circle, is what I forgot to say, you know. Tui and La were forever, since they came to the 3D, in a circle of circling each other like yin and yang, you know, keeping that balance. And I think you may feel like that's something you have to work for, but you don't have to work for it. It's as simple as finding some inner peace. It's as simple as connecting with nature. And then here we have like cliffs. Look at the rainbows. Like, is this somewhere in the world? I have to read up on that because I want to know. We're gonna go to M. Miracles. Double rainbow. After the storm, the rainbow appears. No matter where we are, the instant rainbow splashes across the sky. We usually stop and stand in awe. Some say that rainbows are messages from the Creator. I was just mentioning this in another reading. Are you from that one? Others say that they are a part of the electromagnetic spectrum phenomenon, but no matter the explanation for their existence, rainbows have struck awe in the hearts and souls of many through time. Many traditions believe that rainbows are blessings from the Creator. A double rainbow is double the blessings. So, the storms of the past are passing and your dreams are coming true. No matter what has happened in the past, your future holds abounding miracles. Good fortune, celestial beauty, and inner divinity are expanding within you. Believe that your life is guided. Trust in the goodness of the universe. A celestial bridge to the heavens is opening for you. Start a health program, invest in your career, or initiate a relationship, and good fortune will manifest. Blessings are flowing in all directions. Believe that you deserve the best, because you do. Bounty, joy, blessings, and miracles are flowing your way. Okay, so since this is representing your grounding energy of the physical right now, this is what I feel like is something you are supposed to be striving towards, or something that is now coming into your life. That's a message coming through. So we have inner peace and we have miracles. So it's kind of like they keep repeating the whole, where is it? Believe that your life is guided thing. And then in the other part we had, it says, no matter how much darkness there has been in your life, you can rise into enlightenment and profound tranquility. So maybe there has been a lot of darkness in your life and you're just like, why do things keep happening? Why can I never find any peace? Why am I always working to the bone? Why can I never find love or happiness, kind of thing? And it's kind of like, inner peace is your birthright. You keep thinking that you have to work for something, and you're constantly being in a, yes, exactly. You're constantly in a masculine energy when you always think you have to work for stuff. You're not using enough of your feminine energy, or same for others. Maybe you're not working hard enough and you're constantly relying on, miracles to come in and help you, when you have to work for it sometimes. You have to co-write, co-create with the universe. Is another card in the wisdom of the Oracle deck. We have to co-create, where in order for, God or the Creator or divine, whoever, whatever you believe in, whatever you call it, to do their job, you have to help them in some way. You can't sit at home not doing anything, expecting things to come to you, and you can't constantly always be working, and then complaining, things are not showing up yet, because you're working too hard for it. You're not believing, you're not co-creating, because co-creating comes from believing you deserve it, and it's going to come your way. If you constantly are overworking yourself, you're unconsciously or subconsciously saying, I don't believe I deserve this, because I have to constantly work hard for it, So either or, I don't know which one or which place you fall into, but that's very much the vibe that I'm getting from you guys. Like, tranquility occurs when you realize that your life is unfolding according to divine planning. So no matter how much you work, if you're not supposed to have it at that moment, you're not going to have it. No matter how much you don't work and don't put in the work, you're not going to have it. That's kind of the vibe that I'm getting, And that's that yin and yang. Like I said, yeah, exactly. That's what these two fish were giving me, Tui and La. where they wanted to be together forever, so they decided to, like, you know, come down from the 5D and plant themselves in the 3D, where they were able to be hurt, where they were able to be, you know, unalive, like General Zhao did to them, or one of them anyway. What you are constantly searching for already exists within you. And to find this inner peace, you have to simplify your life and spend time in nature and listen to the message of your soul. So I do feel like, yeah, there's something about imbalance. And once you find that balance is when you are opening yourself up for miracles. I'm still here. I don't know why I'm so tired. Jesus. I'm stretching because my body just wanted to stretch, so I go quiet. Okay, I'm back and I'm here. So yeah, because definitely what they said about the water lilies is maybe they both have the same origin story as the lotus, where they grow in muck, you know. They're like a very how can I call it? It's not a place where flowers are used to growing, you know? So that could be something about this life that you're in right now. You are in, it's kind of like you're living in a concrete jungle. And flowers, even like flowers bloom through the concrete sometimes, you know. It's like you were a flower that was placed in water, and flowers don't usually grow in water, they grow in soil. So you're kind of out of your depth, out of your element, always working too hard or not hard enough to make yourself fully bloom into the flower you were meant to be, you know. And it's kind of like you already started off at a disadvantage. What you don't understand, or what you're not realizing, is that these flowers, no matter whether usual flowers are meant to bloom in dirt, you're still able to bloom even if you're in water or unfamiliar terrain or unfamiliar territory, you know. I'm trying to come up with the right way to say it. Like I feel like you already grew up at a disadvantage, or you thought you did based on what you were seeing in other people's lives. Because if you were growing up in a you were born in the water, and you're constantly growing up around people who are born in the soil, you're going to be looking at them like, oh, well, their life is this way and they grew up that way and they have this and they have that. And it's like, well, because they grew up in the soil. You're comparing yourself to people who grew up in soil, even though they are flowers, you know, even though they are people, even though you guys were all humans. These specific flowers grew up in soil. You grew up in water, so why are you expecting to have what the soil dwellers, we'll call them, have when you grew up in the water? You know, so you think that you grew up at a disadvantage because other flowers, you know, bloom from the dirt, but you had to bloom in the muck and the mud and the water kind of thing. So you're already thinking of yourself as having a disadvantage when you really don't. Like, I hope that makes sense. Like, it makes sense in my brain and how I'm trying to explain it, but it's like kind of coming out in a way where I feel like I'm confusing you even more. But I feel like you understand what I mean. You're comparing yourself to other people. Like, I don't have what they have. They are doing this and they're doing that. Their life is easy. And it's like, it may look easy because they're, you know, they grew up in a completely different environment from you. They grew up in a completely different life than you, a completely different family than you. So you can't compare your life to other people's life. Oh, their life is happy right now, but you don't know what they had to go through to get that happiness because you didn't live their life. You didn't grow up in the soil where they grew up, you know? But soil dwellers have their own problems. They got to deal with insects. They got to deal with pesticides. They got to deal with all kinds of stuff. Animals coming and biting and eating them, rabbits and all that kind of stuff. So soil dwelling flowers have their own crosses to bear, as did you, as a flower that grew up in water, like a lotus or a water lily, you know? But you guys were both flowers. You guys are both going to bloom. You guys are both going to have your own miracles when you have them. So this is basically saying stop comparing yourself to other people, where they are in their life, kind of vibe, because you were meant to grow up in the water for a reason. You were meant to be different for a reason. And you consider it a disadvantage, but it really isn't. I'm going to end it there. Leave it there. Okay. Now, we're going to get into, before I confuse you anymore, but we have double miracles. So like it said in the book, one rainbow is one blessing. 2 rainbows are double blessings. So you're looking at the people who grew up in the soil and they're one blessing, saying, oh, look at them, they have their blessings, this and that. But what you're not seeing is that you're getting double blessings, you're getting double rainbows. And they may not get double rainbows. So it's like, stop comparing, essentially. Okay, I'm done. Like, what you're not realizing is you're getting double rainbow, and they only may get 1 rainbow in their life. But you're constantly looking over at their side of the pond, you know? The grass is greener on the other side, always. What is that song? Not even a song, it was a show. Was it As Told by Ginger on Nickelodeon? Like, something about grass is greener on the other side. And I think maybe one thing that she was doing in her life was always maybe comparing it to other people or something like that. I don't know. And now I'm hearing the wild thornberries, child. Come on now. Not the nostalgia coming through. No, we're gonna stick with As Told by Ginger. Yeah, the theme song was something about the grass is always green on the other side. So you're looking at these soil dwelling flowers saying, oh, look, their life is so this and that, not knowing what they have to deal with. You know, stick to your side of the grass. Stay on your side of the pond, you know? So now I'm gonna get into who you were in this past life. Ooh, Jesus. You have Temperance. Okay, I wanna put this back. Hey, relax. I want 1 card, please. Oh my gosh, guys. Did you see that? Bro, that Temperance coming out again. Yo, that's crazy. Okay, heard you. Temperance. There you go. That is mad. I'm like, nope. Let me put it back. And it came right back out. Okay, so you were Temperance. Heard you. We're gonna get 1 more. That's wild. Can I get another card for who were my group? So maybe that could be you, like, denying a part of you or saying, I'm not supposed to be this. And the card is coming out again saying, yes, you are supposed to be that. You know? I don't know. Something about that is coming through as well. Where the way I was like, no, let me put the Temperance card back. That's not supposed to come out. And the way it flipped right back out, like, yeah, we saw what we said, you know? So what else did they do, please, bro? What else did, I mean, who were they? Like, I don't know why. I'm just feeling all over the place, very ungrounded in your energy. Because group 2, group 1, I was fine. Group 2, I feel like I'm all over the place. I'm not gonna have me out here feeling crazy like this. We have the Moon for who were you? Yeah, you could have been called to group 1 because that came through for group 1's energy as well. Who were they? I'll take 1 more card. And then we have Death. This didn't want to come out. So we have Death. And it wanted to come out in reverse as well. Do I keep it? We're just going to put it in reverse over here. Never realizing your full potential is what I heard. So who were you? You were Temperance. Someone who definitely worked with energies for sure. Something about water. Like, something like, what am I hearing? A jack of all trades. Because look at how we have in the Temperance card, we have all these hands doing a whole bunch of different things. And look at how I said, look at how I was talking about freaking water lilies. And what, see, this is the card that was coming through in group 1 that had me saying water lilies. And it's coming through again. So something here about water, okay, is important as well. Intuition is important as well. The Moon is important as well. Like, I'm hearing doubt, constantly doubting yourself or constantly living a life of like secrets and illusions, never like realizing who you really were. Like, you know, that's the vibe that I'm getting, because the Moon is like secrets, illusions, not being able to see yourself clearly, you know? You're seeing yourself here as this reflection of the Moon, you know, which is like, you know, in the water, it's, look at it, not clear. You're not seeing yourself clearly. And that could have been something you were dealing with this past life. Like, the Moon is staring you right in your face. The Temperance card was staring me right in my face. And I said, nope, that's not the right card. Let me put it back, you know? And it flipped right back out. And it's like you were constantly not able to see your true power or tap into your true power. It's something, and I feel like that is like reiterating in this life until you learn your lesson. It's either to stop complaining, I'm thinking of like, what is it called? It's not doomsday thinking. There's an actual like saying for it. like catastrophic thinking kind of vibe, like where nothing is ever going to go right. Like I've gone through so many things, like when am I going to get my big break kind of vibe. And it's like, well, you're never going to get it with that attitude. You know, is what I just heard. You're never going to get it with that attitude. And so you find that inner peace of being happy where you are, of finding the yin to your yang. You know what I mean? And like it said in the book, it said, start a new job, invest in your dreams, get into a new relationship kind of vibe, and then the miracles will trickle in. So it's kind of like you're not doing enough, like I said, for some of you, and so for some of you, you're doing too much of the wrong thing, I should say, you know? Because you're working constantly in that masculine energy, and is not too much of your feminine energy in balance. Some of you are too much of your feminine energy, not enough of your masculine energy in balance. You need to find that inner peace with you. I'm about to cut this reading short because I'm sick and tired of this. I can't say what I want to say. Okay, so Temperance card here is equilibrium. It's also balance. It's also moderation. It's also not having to work too hard and being able to receive certain things. You know, the Temperance is like everything is in moderation. The Temperance card is always someone whose foot is on earth while also on land. It's like you guys are too much in the water, too much in the dreams, too much in the emotions. You're not grounding your energy, which is why I can't get a handle on your energy, because you're too much like maybe crying over spilled milk, being like, what is it's a doomsday thinking. I can't get this, but I know it's a specific saying. Where it's always like, you're always like pessimistic kind of vibe, but that's not what I'm trying to say. Like you're always thinking that, you know, staying in this energy of, oh, things are bad and they're going to stay bad forever. Things are never going to be good. And if you're always in that energy, nothing is ever going to be good, because you're always looking on the dark side, not even the bright side. You're looking on the other side. You're looking at other people's lives and what they have instead of focusing on you. Because what do they say? Comparison's the thief of joy. If you're always constantly comparing where you are in your life compared to where other people are, you're never going to be happy, because there's always going to be somebody that just so happens to be doing better than you, somebody who always have more money than you. You could have a good job, but you're looking at someone who's a billionaire and you're comparing yourself to them. Of course you're always going to be lacking. You're looking at, you have one child, you're looking at people who have 3 kids, oh, they're doing better than me. It's just like you're always looking on the other side. The grass is not always greener on the other side. Okay. Interesting. But who were you in the past? If you were someone who was very, 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 focus on meditation. Sorry, another yawn, child. Who's always doing a lot of different things. Like I said, a jack of all trades. You were very talented at doing many different things, you know. You were meditating, you know, you were like, you could have been growing flowers, you could have been making jewelry, like it's giving merchant. You sold a bunch of different things. It's like good with your hands is what I'm hearing. You work with your hands. So yeah, merchant is coming through. You made things with your hands and you sold it to other people. And maybe you were looking at a shop in this past life even then, like, oh, look at that shop over there, selling more than me, But it's kind of like they were able. Okay, so the example that I'm getting is you made things from scratch. You made things from hand, where other companies, even in this day and age, get like mass manufactured things. They buy it in bulk and sell it. You make your own things, so of course it's going to take you longer to make the thing, of course. And they're going to have to sell it at a higher price point, which means people may not want to buy it because everybody wants like cheap or fast fashion. They don't want things that take time. And you were someone who was looking at this other shop like, oh, look at them getting all this business and and they're always selling out or whatever. But it's because they don't put as much time and energy into what their things as you do. Or like I said, they're just buying it from someone else. Someone else is making it. And you're kind of comparing apples and oranges. You're an orange. You're making your own stuff. And you're comparing yourself to an apple. Like I said, you're a water flower. And you're comparing yourself to soil or earth flowers. You're not the same. Comparison, guys. For group 2, comparison to the thief of joy. Because you're constantly living in an illusion. You're never seeing things clearly. You're not seeing yourself clearly, like I said before. because you're comparing yourself to who you are compared to that person instead of what you've done on your own, the success you've amassed on your own, the things you've done on your own, you know, looking at yourself as a complete separate entity than who you are compared to somebody else, you know, because compared to somebody else, you may not be doing so hot, you know, you may not be as successful as you want to be, because there's always going to be someone, like I said, that has more success than you. But if you just look at yourself as where you came from and what you were able to do for yourself, you'll be able to see, oh, dang, I've definitely made some, you know, leaps and bounds. I've made a lot of strides in my life. Okay. What did you do? What did they do? Yeah, with Temperance card here, you were doing a lot of things. You were a jack of all trades. You were able to make clothes, jewelry. You were also a farmer. You planted things, and you could have sold all of these things at your shop and were comparing yourself to somebody else, another merchant, you know? But with the Moon, never seeing yourself clearly, and then with the Death card in reverse, never able to evolve, you know, like, because how can I explain it? Because I just feel like I'm getting a lot of freaking abstract examples for you guys, and it's pissing me off. If you are never able to put in the past who you used to be, you're never going to be able to evolve into who you're supposed to be, okay? That's the Death in reverse card is giving me. So that's who you were in the past. If you were someone who was unwilling to put things to bed, to let things go, it's giving holding grudges, you know? It's giving... oh, I had an example that left. Crap. Yes, holding grudges, not being able to put things to bed. Okay, and it's funny because in the Death card here, what do we have? Somebody who's in bed, you know? Someone who's like a skeleton. So even in you, okay, you know what this is giving me as well? Someone who is not... This is what I was saying, an example. So basically, okay, so you have someone who's in a relationship, okay? And they have a past relationship of being cheated on. And they've found somebody new. They're moving on to this new relationship with this new person, but they're still carrying that, oh, this person's gonna cheat on me energy. They're not letting it go, releasing it, letting it die like it was supposed to in that past relationship. So now you have trust issues. You know, is this person gonna cheat on me? Even if they gave you no indication they're gonna cheat on you, you're just bringing that energy with you. You refuse to let it go. So all these negative thoughts, all these illusions, you know, all these what can you call them, grudges kind of thing, you refuse to let them go. So you're carrying them with you wherever you go, and that was a part of who you were in the past. That's not who you are now or who you're supposed to be. Like, I hope I'm explaining this properly, because I'm getting frustrated. Like, not able to find peace, not able to move on because you're holding grudges. You like have contempt in your heart for someone who did you wrong kind of thing. You're comparing yourself to where somebody else is. You're not giving yourself grace, you know? You may be constantly seeing yourself as who you were instead of who you are now. Like I said, it just keeps coming through. Who's that calling on my answer phone? I'm sorry. Anywho. And I do feel like with this Miracle cards here, it's like something about always being on edge, always wondering where your next meal is going to come from. Something about that. Like, you're always just on edge. You don't know what's going to happen. You're just like, I'm hearing skittish. Where you're never like fully comfortable, at peace, at ease, you know? And yeah, that's what Inner Peace is saying. Okay, so, okay, I'm not bugging. I'm not bugging. Your energy, child, is just giving me whiplash. Anyway, yes, with this in reverse, it's giving me the vibe you were never able to move on from something. You're always holding contempt in your heart, like, oh, this happened when I was younger and I can't move on from that, you know, or this happened, this person did this to me and I can't move on from that, you know, this person said that to me and I can't move on from that. It's like you're carrying all this baggage instead of letting sleeping dogs lie, putting this thing to bed and moving on. Look at you, this is her. She's supposed to let this go. Look behind the freaking curtain, we have a skeleton, something that's dead. She's supposed to be letting this go. Why is she still peeking? Why is she trying to open the blind and see what's behind there? Leave it alone. You know, let it go. You're not letting it go. Okay, I'm done. I'm done with that. Like, she's supposed to be letting the person behind the blind go, letting the grudge go, moving on, becoming healed, becoming enlightened. And it's like, you're like, whenever something bad happens, you revert back to that energy of, oh, look, and this happened, and that happened, and this happened. You went through things in your life, yes, but you went through it. Build a bridge, build a bridge, and get over it. Stop constantly thinking about it and letting it hold you back, child. Whoo, I'm getting frustrated. Let me not. Okay, I'm done. What did you do? What did you do in this past life? Like, you're just never settled. You're never at peace. You're always holding grudges, looking back. Like, and it's like upsetting me and my homegirl, child. What did you do? We have Emperor in reverse. You never took accountability for your actions or the part you may have played. So it's kind of like someone who's always like, oh, I don't have this and I don't have that. But did you put in any effort to become that, to do that kind of thing? You never fully found your destiny is what I'm getting in this past life, which is why you're here. We're living the same thing. We're living the same lessons, hoping that maybe this time around you'll figure it out, you know? Because the Emperor is this energy of King Arthur in this deck, where he pulls the sword from the stone. Here, with it in reverse, you never pull the sword from the stone, so you never realize your destiny. You never sit upon your throne, you know? Because if he never pulled the sword from the stone, he would have never became king. The prophecy was, whoever was able to pull the sword from the stone is the rightful heir to the throne, okay? You were never able to pull the knife out of your back. You were never able to let go of that grudge. You were never able to end things, move on from certain things. You were always going back to that thing that happened. You were always saying, oh, my life is this, because that happened. My life is this and that because of that happened. You know, like I said, not taking accountability for the part you may have played, you know? Like, everybody says now, like, yes, you may have gone through things in your childhood, whatever, but once you grow up, it's your responsibility to heal what you went through. Like, once you reach a certain age, it's no longer anybody else's fault for why your life is failing except your own. You can't blame your parents, you can't blame this, you can't blame anybody who may have, you know, caused you any trauma, because you're grown now. It's up to you to heal yourself, you know? Or you can stay in this energy of, oh, this happened, that happened, this happened, stuck. Or you can use what you went through to propel you forward, to move on, kind of thing. To step into who you're meant to be. Because also certain things happen in your life to prepare you for other things that are meant to come. And if you just stay in that past, you're never going to be able to experience your future, you know? And I think that's what the Emperor is trying to say here. What did you do? You never took accountability, and you never fulfilled your true purpose. You never stepped into your true purpose. You never got to sit on that throne and become the Emperor and see all the fruits of your labor laid out in front of you. You know? That's the vibe that I'm getting from the Emperor. What else did they do in this past life? You never realized your true purpose. You know, you were never a fully realized person. You stayed stunted because you stunted your own growth by not finding your inner peace, you know? And here we have King of Cups energy, which is the energy of King of Cups specifically is Scorpio energy. And Scorpios are very much zodiac sign known for holding on to things that people did to them. They're very much a holding on to grudges sign. They're very much a I want a revenge sign. They're very much a close off. They close out their energy kind of sign. And that's why the King of Cups is like someone who is very emotionally mature and feeling. They can feel a lot of emotions, but it's up to them to show that person to the world, you know? Someone who's always constantly trying to protect their heart, protect their peace kind of vibe, where it leads to them always being on edge, which is something that just keeps coming through in this reading, honestly. So it's kind of like, you know, someone who is, they don't trust people easily. So they live their life alone. They don't want to work with anybody else, you know? They don't want to allow people into their life because they didn't know what they were going to do. Very mistrustful energy, you know, closed off. Because we have this dragon here. And what I always say about dragons, the dragons were placed somewhere to protect something, you know. Someone who was overly protective. Someone who was overly, like, what is it called? As soon as any little thing, they feel a brush of air, the dragon is, you know, spewing fire. Because they're protecting a pearl. It's either their heart, something that happens to them, they're protecting a part of themselves kind of thing. And you never become a fully realized person because you're stuck. Your growth was stunted, you know? So what did you do in a past life? You were someone who was very closed off. Didn't trust very easily. Because you were protecting and filling your heart, which is like a pearl. You were protecting either your money, you were protecting your heart kind of thing. Excuse me, Jesus, come on. Hiding beneath the water, because it's like a water dragon. So hiding your emotions, lost in your emotions, yeah. I'm hearing lost, out of touch, because you're just in your head. It's like giving a little bit selfish, you know, where you're only thinking about how things affected you. Like, oh, I went through, like I said, I went through this when I was younger, and you're just fixating on that one thing instead of letting it go, healing it, and moving on. And it led to you just being emotionally stunted is what I'm hearing. Even though the King of Cups is someone who can experience a lot of emotions, he can be someone who's very mature. It's like in your case, you didn't become a fully realized version of yourself. You were never able to move on into the future, evolve, you know, kind of thing. Yeah, I'm trying to see if I'm getting any more messages from this group. Like, what did you do? You hid away your emotions. You could have been a recluse as well. Like I said, you just hid away from everybody else to keep your emotions safe based on one thing that happened in your past. Like I said, you move into a new relationship and this person is fine. Like, they could be, like, they could have their own issues. You know what I mean? Like, they could be someone who could cheat on you, but you have to go into every relationship with a clean slate. Don't say, oh, because my past person cheated, so is this next person, you know? So you never got to fully be at ease and experience a happy relationship after you were cheated on at one time. It's kind of like a running joke in, like, well, not maybe between me and my friends, honestly. I feel like it's like a woman thing. How a man gets his heart broken one time in his life and swears off women. I'm never going to be in another relationship. I'm going to be a playboy for the rest of my life because somebody broke my heart one time in middle school, you know? They became emotionally stunted at that age where that thing happened, and they never wanted to grow. They didn't want to deal with it. They didn't want to heal it. And then they became 30-something years old, still holding on to that one thing that happened in middle school where their heart was broken, they were betrayed. And now every woman is going to do that same thing to them. So they don't want to open their heart up to anybody else, you know? That's the perfect example, I feel like. You were cheated on that one time in a relationship, and now you believe that every person that comes after that person is a cheater. And you would never allow yourself to truly trust someone ever again. It's like a very just, you know, closed off, hard to get to know energy, recluse. Like, I'm never gonna fall in love again. I'm never gonna be someone who's open and happy and joyful. And that stunted your growth, like I said with the Emperor card here, never allowed you to fully step into the purpose or who you were meant to be, who you were destined to be, kind of thing. Okay, so now we're gonna move on to how is this affecting your specific life. How is who you were in that past life affecting your life? And I feel like we've already got into that, but we're gonna see what a little bit of cards have to say. A little bit of the cards have to say. But yeah, Five of Cups. Didn't I say that? Pity party. Yep. Crying over spilled milk, staying sad. Like, that is, you brought that energy from this past life into this life. Nothing's ever going to be good again. I can never trust anybody again because everybody else grew up this way in the soil and I grew up in the water. I'm different from them. When you have your own gifts and you have your own things to be learned from that experience. You obviously weren't meant to be a soil flower. You were meant to be a water flower. And instead of trying to figure out why that is, you're constantly comparing yourself to the soil when you're supposed to be water. Yeah. It's like a water sign, a Cancer, saying, I wish I could be as unfeeling as a Capricorn. Or I wish I could be as grounded as a Capricorn, or just compare themselves and wanting to be a Capricorn when you were obviously born a water sign for a reason. You can't compare yourself to an earth sign because you're not an earth sign. So stop doing that. Comparison's the thief of joy, because you may want to be that person. You never got to fully hone and experience your true gifts, your power, your magic, and how you can make it work for you. So you were never able to experience these miracles because you were never at peace with who you were and what you could have provided the world, kind of thing. I hope that's making sense. But here we have Five of Cups. How's it affecting this specific life? You're constantly in energy of nothing's ever going to be happy again. Nothing's ever going to be good again. I'm never going to experience joy again. When there's very much 2 cups behind you. 2 cups represent alignment. It represents happiness. It represents dating. It represents love. It represents so many different things. But you're too busy crying over these 3 cups because one time in your life, this person spilled your milk. And now you never want to drink milk again. So you didn't grow up with strong bones, you know? And now you're someone who's crippled because you didn't grow up with strong bones. Or you can't walk very long or very far because your bones are weak, okay? You were in a relationship and someone betrayed you. Now I can never find love again because someone's going to betray me again. Now I'm closed off, you know? Like, y'all understand what I'm saying. I'm pretty sure you do. Because someone may have ruined your birthday when you were younger. I never want to celebrate my birthday again because it brings back all those negative memories, you know? That's what I'm getting. So, yeah. Here we have 6 of Wands. And then we have Ace of Cups in reverse. You're not able to see your true potential with the 6 of Wands here. Or celebrate yourself, honestly. Realize that you are someone who is triumphant, who can overcome this sadness. You refuse to realize that, you know? Ace of Cups in reverse. You're not pouring into yourself. You're not pouring love into yourself. And you're not opening yourself up to experience love from others because you immediately give off the vibe of stay away, leave me alone, I'm not interested kind of vibe, you know? That's how it's affecting this one. You're not opening yourself up to new possibilities, for new experiences to be poured into your life, you know? It's kind of like someone who is a fish trying to live on earth, land. You're a fish out of water. You're not supposed to thrive on land. You're supposed to thrive in the water. So you're constantly trying to become a, what would you call it? You're trying to become an, what is it called? Is it an amphibian? Like a frog? A frog grows up most of its life in the water. It's a tadpole until it's able to, I guess, what is it called? Formulate the organs that allow it to breathe on land. So now it becomes a water dweller and a land dweller. You're supposed to be just a water dweller. You're supposed to be a fish. Right here. Live in water. But you're trying to live on land. And it's not allowing anything to thrive or to happen in your life. Like, boy, okay. I just feel like I keep repeating myself and I'm not getting to the point. I'm trying to get to the point here. And that could be how you're feeling. You're frustrated because you keep repeating certain cycles or things keep happening over and over again. The same things keep happening over and over again. You're just like, why can't I move on? Why can't I get to the point? What is the lesson behind it? And it's like inner peace, being happy, allowing yourself to be open, you know what I mean? Pouring into yourself, realizing, and stop comparing. Because you keep comparing yourself. That's why you're never going to be happy. Because you're like, oh, this person's doing that and I'm not doing that. It's like, okay, that's fine. That's their journey, you know? It's giving me the thing that I was saying. Not I was saying, but I saw a video on TikTok that explained life so beautifully. They compared life to a marathon, okay? And the guy was like, in a marathon, we all start off at the same point. We start off at the same starting line, which is birth. And we're all racing towards the finish line, which is death. Some people are the ones who's running in the race. Then there's the people on the sidelines who's cheering you on. There's the people who are behind. There's you in the race, and there's the people who's ahead of you. The people who are behind you are constantly looking at you like, oh my gosh, you have everything that I want right now. They're the people beside you who are at the same level as you, who you're not even focused on because you're too busy looking at the people ahead of you. And the people ahead of you are doing what? Looking at the people ahead of them. You know what I mean? So he's telling you to enjoy the part of life that you're in right now. Maybe take a break. Maybe talk to the people who are beside you in the race and stop looking at the people who are ahead of you, because you're never going to be them. And they're not worried about you. They're worried about the people ahead of them. And we're all essentially racing towards death for what? No. Take a break. He said, drink some water. Share the water that you have with someone next to you. The people who are at the same place in life as you, try to, not, reconvene, but no, try to stop, talk to them, spend some time with them, take a break, get some water kind of vibe, share stories, experiences, have a good time, instead of constantly looking at the people who are ahead of you. Focus on the people who are exactly where you are right now. Because it's not just you experiencing, looking ahead and wanting to be where those other people are. No, I'm sure the people next to you are feeling the same way, but you're thinking you're the only one going through that. No, find like-minded individuals, Maybe he even said stop and offer people behind you some water. Look at where the people are where you used to be, Like, I hope I'm explaining it properly. Like, stop, smell the roses, realize that there's people on the sidelines who aren't running the race, who he said mostly represent elders or people who are older than you, who, are not even in the race anymore. They're just, chilling leisurely. There's going to be people who are cheering you on, and there's going to be people who are haters. Don't even worry about the people on the sidelines, because they're not important in your life at all. That could be family, other friends, elders, people. Don't worry about them. Worry about you. And worry about the people who are next to you. Maybe sometimes stop and look behind you and help the people who are behind if you can, But stop focusing on the people ahead of you, because they're not worried about you. They're worried about the people ahead of them. And like, we're always looking for the next best thing, instead of trying to find peace where we are right now. Live in the present moment and stop worrying about the future and being stuck in the past, because you're missing what's in front of you right now, And it's constantly leading to you being unhappy, because you're comparing to people who are ahead of you, or you're comparing to what happened in your past, kind of thing. How else is it affecting this specific lifetime? And here we have the King of Wands in reverse. You're unsure of what to do, where to go, kind of vibe as well. We're going to make this work. Just never being satisfied. It's giving Hamilton, child. Y'all some Hamiltons. Where he had so much to be grateful for and be happy for in his life, but he was just always looking for the next best thing. He was homeless, saw his mom die in front of him, and it was that energy he never wanted to go back to that was constantly pushing him forward. But in doing so, he was always looking for the next best thing, So he was someone who was very ambitious, overly ambitious. He went from someone being homeless to being the right-hand man to the President of the United States, Washington. He ended up getting married, having kids, finally having his own home, having some notoriety, having some, prestige in his life, But he was always working towards, always wanting more. He was never satisfied with that, when little him would have been satisfied with having a wife, having a home, having friends, having a job. He was always like, oh no, I need more, being greedy, being selfish, always wanting everything for himself. Like, oh, I see this person, he was comparing himself to this person, and he has money, and he's a trust fund baby, and he had this and that, and like, but you're not a trust fund baby. Why are you looking at them? Worry about them. Worry about you. You're just never satisfied as a vibe. And it ended up killing him in the end. His pride ended up killing him in the end. And against the person who he was comparing himself to, The trust fund baby is the one who snuffed out his life. Can you believe it? Tragic. It's crazy. He had so much life left to live, but like crazy. But anyway, back to how it's affecting this life. You're not able to fully realize your power because you're too busy stuck in the past or crying over something that happened in the past. Okay, you're not getting over it. We have the Ace of Cups. You're not allowing life or new love or new experiences. You're not watering yourself. You know, the tap has been turned off. Everything you've been giving yourself so far and you know, investing in yourself is kind of like stunted. You're not growing anymore. You're not opening yourself up to new connections anymore. You're not confident in who you are anymore and what you can provide the world anymore. With the King of Wands and the Emperor in reverse, like very much like not realizing your truest potential energy, you know? And that's how it's affecting this life right now. You're not able to be fully confident and happy in who you are, stand in your power, and go after whatever you want. Go after your heart's desires, because there's something and a voice in your head saying you're not good enough. You're not where this other person is at this age, you know? You're not focusing on your life. You're focusing on their life. Like I said in the book, it said, one rainbow is one blessing. And what you're not realizing about yourself, so you're getting two blessings, you know? You're constantly comparing yourself to that person's one blessing when you have two blessings coming into your life. Like, just stop comparing yourself to people, child. And then look, yes, the devil card. Oh my gosh, like, yes. Your mind is your worst enemy. Like, you know, and it's keeping you from this fulfillment here. Not getting out of this devil energy, letting the thoughts win, the traumas win, the things you went through in the past win, that voice in your head saying you don't deserve it. You're letting the enemy win. And which is why you never fully realize your truest potential with the Emperor in reverse and the King of Wands in reverse. The same thing is repeating itself again. Because we have the King of Wands here again. You're not realizing your true potential. Like, come on now. Guys, come on. This is like finding love, finding happiness, finding harmony, being in sync, being able to finally close a chapter of your life and move the heck on. You're staying stuck in the energy instead because of this devil energy telling you, keeping you trapped. Okay, we're going to keep moving on, honestly, because I'm sick of repeating myself. What is the lesson that they're meant to learn in this life, please? What's the lesson they're meant to learn? That was weird, but it came out. We have wisdom. We have action. Yeah, I would say. We have joy. Yeah. And we have surrender. Stop comparing. Like I said, some of you are doing too much. Some of you are doing too much, working too hard, putting in too much effort, trying to be extra, trying to go above and beyond for others, for yourself, you know what I mean? And you need to just surrender to the outcome. And that's what the freaking book said. Yes. I'm going to find it again. Yes, I will. Where is it? Serenity isn't something you have to work for or search for. It already exists within you. You're trying too hard to be a better person, to get money, to impress others, you know, to live up to other people's standards kind of vibe. That's what I'm getting. You're not listening to the message of your soul. You were here born as a water sign for a reason. You were not born as an earth sign. Earth signs have their own destiny. They have their own purpose. They have their own function in society. And you're too busy trying to be an earth sign or comparing yourself to them that you're not recognizing your own soul, why you came here. You know, your truest, like I said, potential, honestly. You're not figuring that out because you're too busy worrying about other people and what they think and how they're acting and what they have, and, you know, and in doing so, you're never going to get this double blessing. Because you're not surrendering. Child, okay. Passion flower. Finding your passion and sticking with it. Because they did something about passion. I'm going to find it again within Miracles. I will. Yes, start a health program, invest in your career, or initiate a relationship, and good fortune will manifest. You're keeping yourself loveless because of the energy you're in. You know what I mean? A health program, It could be mental health problem. It could be therapy. It could be getting answers. It could be trying to heal what has been holding you back. They're telling you once you start that journey of healing, you will find those miracles. You're not healing, staying in an energy of, oh, I've been doing this and that, and I still haven't gotten what I wanted yet. That's not an energy that's going to get you anything good. That's a negative energy you're dwelling in, you know? Negative things come to negative energies. You're being in a negative energy, you know? Your vibe attracts your tribe. You're attracting negative people because you're in a negative mindset, you know? If you're in that energy of, oh, okay, things are still hard, but that double blessing is coming. You're never going to fully realize that, hey, you may end up with more than that person that you're comparing yourself to ever has if you just stay the course. If you give up and say, I'm done putting in the energy because I'm not getting what I want. It's not about you and what you want. It's about what you're here to, what you came here to do. Unfortunately, sometimes that's how it is. You're here to fulfill a specific purpose, but you complaining, saying, oh, I'm not getting what I want. It's not about what you want. It's about what you came here to do. And once you embody that energy, then you can get what you want. But if you're not fulfilling your purpose in the grand scheme of things, in the circle of life, how do you expect to get anything if you're not giving anything? These experiences are making you the person you're supposed to be, and you're complaining about them, staying stuck in them, allowing them to tear you down instead of allowing them to build you up, okay? That's definitely what I'm getting. But yeah, invest in your career, initiate a relationship, and good fortune will manifest. You're not doing those things, and the good fortune is not manifesting. But it's meant for you because we have miracles here, you know? You came here to experience joy, surrender, action. Like I said, inaction is what the Emperor in reverse is, and the King of Wands is. So you're repeating those same cycles, which is why nothing is working out, honestly. That's all I have to say about that. And then we have wisdom. You're here to learn what you didn't learn in the past life, to learn your lesson, to accumulate that knowledge that, oh, you don't have to hide away from the world. You don't have to keep your emotions bottled up. You don't have to compare yourself to other people, kind of thing. And it's like this, like I said, the Tree and Law, they decided to become earth spirits and open themselves up to being harmed and hurt instead of staying in the 5D. So you're dwelling too much in the 3D, where you need to maybe elevate and, you know, dwell more in the 5D kind of vibe, which is putting your faith that everything happens for a reason. The 5D is where you surrender, where you know things are coming and they're going to come in divine timing kind of vibe. When you're in the 3D, you're constantly looking over your shoulder like, when is this going to come? Okay, I did that. I did what they said again. I did what they said again. Where's my blessing? Where's my blessing? Like, it's not going to come if you keep looking for it. You know? Stay the course and the blessings will come. Stopping and saying, okay, I just did that. Where is it now? Where is it now? Oh, I did that. I did that. I did that. Oh, where is it now? Where is it now? It's not going to come. It's not going to work that way for you in particular, because that's the energy you were in before. You were doing all these things with the Temperance card, a jack of all trades, making all these things, you know what I mean? Instead of finding your true purpose, comparing yourself to other people. You know, and like I was saying with that whole vibe of you had your own shop and you were comparing yourself to another merchant shop. So you're like, oh, it seems like they're selling these things and it's working for them, so let me start selling them too, instead of sticking to what you were meant or called to be doing in the first place. So they were making cupcakes and you were someone who was making pies, you know, or you were someone who was selling oranges and that market was selling apples. You found that they were having more success selling apples, so you trashed all your oranges and started selling apples, and you still weren't doing as good. And it's because that person was called to sell apples for a reason. Their blessing just came through faster than yours because apples were in demand. Who knows, maybe one day down the line people are going to need more vitamin C and they're going to need oranges, but instead of sticking with it, you threw it away and was dealing with the oranges. Your time had not come yet. The time for apples were upon the person who chooses to sell apples. And you don't know what they were doing beforehand. They could have been broke, destitute, homeless. They could have been going through so many things. And they felt called to sell apples, and that was their time. And their blessings came through. And you were too busy looking at them and throwing away your oranges and selling apples. But it wasn't your time yet. So when your time did come, you were selling apples now, and apples were no longer needed, you know? So you lost on an opportunity. You lost on an opportunity. Yeah, that's definitely what I'm getting here. You were trying to do too many things, comparing yourself to other people, trying to overextend yourself for different things, or work too much, work too hard. And it's just like you weren't supposed to do that. You came here for one specific purpose, You were meant here to hone, you were meant to come here to hone that ability, and you weren't doing that. You were looking at other people. Instead of living your life in peace, you were living your life in disarray. So like you came here as someone who was meant to be one with the water, and instead of honing that and staying in the water, you saw people who were on earth and said, oh, I want to be on earth too. And then you went over onto earth, and you do not thrive in earth. You do not thrive doing what that person does. You do not thrive selling apples. You thrive selling oranges, and you didn't stick to your true purpose. Okay, I'm just repeating myself, honestly. Okay, we're gonna get some more cards as well for the lesson you're meant to learn. To stick to something, to start that program, to start that business, to start that relationship, you know, and stop looking at what the next person is doing and how it's working for them and it's not working for you yet. It's going to come. It's going to be a double blessing. And that person may have only gotten one blessing, but you're supposed to get two. And you're too busy worried about their one. We have release, yeah. You came here to release those things that were holding you back, because they still seem to be holding you back. That past life energy, you know. To come to full realization is what I'm hearing as well with this energy, because it always gives me fall. It's like your tree has finally grown. You're finally stable, grounded. I'm getting the fruits of your labor, but it only happens when you release, when you surrender. Okay? And then we have courage, yeah. Once you have the courage to go after what you want, because this King of Wands in reverse and the Emperor in reverse is definitely giving me that you were not doing these things. Here we have success. Can I get one more card, please? Your lesson is you're supposed to find that success, but in your own way, on your own path, in your own timing. We have going forward. And we have like a lot of tree symbolism here. So being stable, because so this energy here was getting very unstable emotionally. You need to find that stability, which is why they said start a program, go to therapy, go to the group therapy, do something, you know, work out if that helps ground you and bring you back to earth and out of your emotions kind of thing. Because even if you were meant to dwell in water, you still need to ground yourself as well and not lose yourself in that water. Oh boy. Find the courage to get over these obstacles, this rocky terrain. I just keep hearing stay the course. So now what I'm going to get into are these cards here. They are the Night School Moonlit Magic deck. They have a bunch of different stuff. They have sacred grounds. They have sacred, you know, sites around the world. They have zodiac signs. They have a bunch of different stuff. So I'm just going to see what comes through. And this is where you have to apply your energy, where what you have to learn more about is what I'm using these cards for. How can you school yourself to become this person you're meant to be and fully evolve into this Emperor and King of Wands upright energy? How can you let go of the illusions, the things that are holding you back? How can you let go of not being able to let sleeping dogs lie and leave the past in the past? How can you, you know, learn from this past life energy that you seem to have not learned from? How can you learn from not keeping everything bottled up and letting people in kind of vibe? Relationships, love, things of that nature. Being vulnerable as well is a big thing here. Allowing people to help you, because the Emperor does not rule his nation alone. He has people there by his side, trusted confidants. But if you want to be a lone wolf, you cannot rule a kingdom by yourself. It's just impossible. You need handmaids. You need what is it called? You need a right hand man. Exactly, you know. So used to doing everything by yourself, making the decisions by yourself, kind of vibe. Like you're definitely giving me Hamilton. Here we have Earth. That's funny because I kept mentioning this. We have Earth is one of the 4 elements. You have to ground yourself. That's important. In the tarot deck, Earth aligns with Pentacles. In astrology, it is represented by Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. Earth is about structure and the ability to compost. You know, Earth returns to Earth in the end. So grounding yourself, growing trees, planting seeds is definitely a vibe, because we have elder wisdom. So using the wisdom from this past life to plant bigger seeds and have this harvest eventually, where you're able to, you know, get the fruits of your labor and harvest everything you've been planting in your life so far. You've been planting, and and you've been planted for so long that you haven't experienced anything yet, and it's frustrating you. But it's like, well, you haven't been putting enough water, you haven't been mastering the craft enough, you haven't been doing enough. And it's not only masculinely, if that makes sense, like actively, physically, you haven't been doing enough energetically, you haven't been doing enough emotionally, you haven't been doing enough spiritually as well. Now here we have, what practices can you put into place? So to enhance your night vision and allow night ways of being to balance your daytime self, list 10. Night vision, and we have moon coming through here. So what practices can you put in place to enhance your night vision and allow your night ways to bring balance to your daytime self? Interesting. So like shadows. To enhance your how do you deal with your shadows is what I'm getting. How do you, because right now you're allowing your shadow self to win out. You're allowing that devil energy to win right now. How can you conquer that night vision? How can you conquer your shadow side in order to balance out your daytime side? So you could be someone who just thinks all these negative things at nighttime kind of vibe, but you let your negative thoughts rule you. And like I said, that's why you need to find that therapy, find that healing in order for you to overcome those nighttime thoughts. And they can kind of help your daytime thoughts as well, enhance, they said. So you definitely have to start a program or something, like they said, a gym, therapy, all that. Here we have Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Abraham Maslow developed a theory that humans must first take care of basic survival needs before they can devote resources to achieving spiritual potential. Do you think this is true? So we have, look, we have physiological, we have safety, we have love, belonging, we have esteem, and we have self-actualization, which is what I was freaking saying the whole reading, honestly. You haven't realized who you're meant to be and your purpose yet, you know? And until you do that, you're never going to be able to find your footing. And you're never going to be able to achieve spiritual potential if you haven't achieved your basic human needs. You're neglecting yourself. You're not, like I said, that Ace of Cups, you're not pouring into yourself, you know? You're not realizing your true potential. Wow, okay, so I know what's bugging. You don't have esteem. You don't believe in yourself. You don't feel like you love yourself. You don't feel like you belong. Like I said, with that whole, you're a water lily, comparing yourself to a sunflower that grows in the earth while the water lily grows in the water. Learn to love yourself. You were born exactly how you were supposed to be. You have safety. You don't feel safe. Okay? You're always paranoid, like I said, with this King of Cups. You're always thinking, oh, because you were betrayed one time, you're going to keep being betrayed. Because you didn't get this thing one time, you're not going to ever get it, kind of thing. And then we have physiological, which is, I feel like, mental and physical kind of thing. Get that under control. Because your mental affects your physical and your physical affects your mental and vice versa. So if you're not like putting enough energy or working out or, you know, taking care of your body, it's going to feel bad. And that ends up with your mental health feeling bad. If your mental health is bad because of all the trauma, the wounds that you've accumulated over the years, it ends up leading to bodily and like depression. You don't feel like getting up or doing anything. You know what I mean? So I feel like both are important. You need that balance. Yes, exactly. Exactly. It keeps coming through. Here we have the cardinal signs in astrology. These signs are initiators. They tend to get things moving and stir things up. That King of Wands energy. Cardinal signs are Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. It's funny how I mentioned Capricorn earlier. I'm like, you're like a Cancer or a water sign wanting to be a Capricorn, but it's kind of like that's not in your destiny to become a Capricorn because you were born a water sign for a reason. You can take on Capricorn tendencies. You can be someone who works a lot, very dedicated to your craft kind of vibe. You're the initiator. You get up and do things. You have that courage. It's coming out of courage, yes. You have the courage to get up and do things, but you're never going to be a Capricorn, but you can take on the tendencies of a Capricorn to get what you want, you know? Release wanting to be this earth energy coming out over release. Here we have success. What practices can you put in place to ensure your success? To assure your success. And then here we have going forward. How can you take care of these needs? Your physical needs, your basic survival needs, before you can kind of elevate into the spiritual, you know? So yeah, the cards are carding, guys. But that's all that I have for you guys, though. Like, I do feel like you need to embrace who you are. what you have to offer, what you came here to offer the world, and stop comparing your life to where other people's lives may be, where you may want your life to be. Like, live in the present moment, you know, because you're never going to get it back, kind of thing. You need to constantly stay in balance, that yin and yang. If you find yourself being overly masculine, it is imperative for you in particular to master the art of being in your perfect in sync masculine energy form. So I feel like otherwise you're going to feel out of balance and off kilter, and you're not going to be able to get anything you want, you know? You're going to be either too negative and you can't go after what you want, or you're going to feel stuck and not be able to go after what you want. You know, feel like powerless kind of vibe. Like, I keep working. Why am I not getting where I want to go? Because you're not supposed to work that hard. You're supposed to incorporate feminine, resting, taking care of yourself, putting self-love into yourself kind of vibe, and actually feeling it. There's a, like, you can work so hard at, you could incorporate self-love tasks, but if you don't believe it or feel that for yourself, it will be for nothing, you know? So you can say until you're blue in the face that I've been, you know, practicing self-love, this and that, but if you're still having any ounce of, oh, but I'm still not getting what I want, you haven't done the right thing, you haven't mastered it yet, you know? You still have work to do. Because the feminine, the Empress energy knows she's going to get what she wants as long as she keeps putting in the work, the balance. If you're overly in your masculine, I keep putting in all this work, where's my thing? You haven't mastered it. And if you're overly in your feminine, I don't have to do enough. I don't have to do much, you know? I've done enough already. You're not going to get what you want because that masculine energy is out of balance now. Like, you know? I hope that makes sense, honestly. But that's all that I have for you guys. I hope this video resonated. If it did, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Join the tribe, the Divine Fam. We love to have you. Look, we have 14 coming through again, Temperance energy. Speaking magic and speaking joy and abundance into your life. Instead of speaking bad things, speak good things. It's coming through as well. Okay, now I'm done. Like, comment, subscribe, join the tribe, the Divine Fam. If you would ever like to book a personal reading with me, you can always get in contact with me. It's my email in the description box below. But I hope you're having a beautiful, wonderful day whenever you watch this reading. And as always, I will see you in the next one. Bye. Hello, my gorgeous group 3s. Welcome to your reading. Today, we're going to be getting into this subscriber suggested topic of which of your past lives is affecting this one and how. Okay, so we're going to get into the who were you in this past life? What did you do in this past life? How is it affecting this specific one? And what is the lesson that you're meant to learn at the end of the day? Okay, we're just gonna hold on. I did not clear out the energy at all, and I need to do that because group 2 was kind of ghetto. Ooh, this candle burn in me. Okay, just need to clear the energy. Okay. So you can see these cute little templates here. They were a gift from my sister for Christmas, and I was never able to fully use them because I didn't have this set up before. It was just mostly, obviously, if you've been here before or you've been here for a long time, you know that was used to my face, and now it's mostly just, you know, this setup here. And I can finally use them, so we're going to be using that to like ground the energy of the who are you and the what did you do of the past life energy, while we get into the how it's affecting and the lesson you're meant to learn, all that kind of stuff. So this card is supposed to represent, I guess, what you came here to learn. That's your main grounding energy to keep us in the present, since that's the life we're trying to figure out how this past one affected, you know? So leadership is what you're definitely here to. I'm hearing following your North Star, because look at the star right here. Leadership, maybe finding leadership in your own life, allowing yourself to find the power to lead, be the leader of your own life, you know, or lead other people. It doesn't really matter. But here we have this lone polar bear, And I think polar bears like very solitary creatures beside their like kids. I'm not 100% sure, don't quote me on that, but I believe that polar bears are solitary creatures. So I do feel like maybe you're a solitary creature, someone who prefers to be on their own and you don't want to lead anybody or take on any responsibility kind of vibe. But I do feel like that is the reason you're here, and that could have been the reason why you are repeating this cycle again, because you didn't want to step up and be a leader in your past life. So you're saying, oh, you want to play games, we're gonna do the same thing again, you know. I'm getting a vibe of that as well. We'll see when the cards come out. Leadership, definitely following your North Star, following your North Node, what you came here to do kind of vibe. Sorry. I'm just feeling extra stretchy in these readings, child. But yeah, we have this energy. This is what you came here to learn, the lesson. I feel like, or the main one. Because I'm definitely going to be pulling more cards for other lessons you came here to learn. So we're going to get right into that right now. So, what? Who were my group 3s in their past life? I feel like, okay, so see how that one fell out? You have strength. So someone who is very strong. I'm hearing a protector. The leader of the pack. This is definitely giving me the vibe of you were, like, I don't know how far back this past life would be, but it was like you were, what do they used to call those people? Like something and gatherer? Hunter and gatherer? You were the hunter in your past life, where you would make sure you would hunt down the animals and kill them and make sure that your people, your family was allowed to eat. So it's also giving breadwinner. So it doesn't matter. Like, you could have been the hunter and gatherer, because this like you know, caveman days. The hunter and gatherer concept is from back in those days. But the hunter and gatherer, as it keeps evolving, is the provider, the man or the woman who goes out and earns the bread, the breadwinner in their family, you know. I feel like that's definitely who you were in a past life, the breadwinner, the one who was the strong one, who was taking care of everyone else kind of thing. Who were they in their past life? Please, Spirit, who were they in their past life? You were definitely fierce. You were very fiery. You were hot-headed. Here we have the Two of Cups. Like, yeah, it's definitely giving me like family person. So you have like your designated person you were married in a past life. Is definitely what is coming through. You were definitely married in a past life. You had like a very strong bond with someone, whether it was someone of the same sex or someone like you were like married to. It could have been like a best friend, something like that, but like a very powerful relationship with someone. And you could have been the strong one in this connection, is what I'm hearing as well. Can I get one more card, please? Can you clarify strength? Who are they in a past life? Please, Spirit, who are they in a past life? Wheel of Fortune in reverse. Ooh, did you experience some fortune at the misfortune at the hands? Maybe like, yeah, you were someone who was always taking the brunt of the misfortune. Like misfortune after misfortune, a series of misfortunate events or unfortunate events, and you were always the one who had to like power through those things for your family, for your partner. You know, you were the one who was holding everything together. You were the one who was trying to help them overcome any demons or battles or traumas that they were dealing with. You know, like I said, the leader essentially is what you were in this past relationship. You were the head person. You were making the money. You were making the you know, bring home the bread. Or the bacon. There we go. I'm like, I know it's some kind of food reference. You were bringing home the bacon. You know, you have to be the fierce one, the protective one, you know, the fiery one. With this whole, she's giving me merda from brave, the brave one. Like I said, the strength. Okay. What did they do, please, bro? What did they do in their past life? So you were the one who had to be strong, the breadwinner. We have the World in reverse. What did you do? You stayed stuck. Maybe you weren't someone who was well-traveled. You didn't travel the world. You know, yeah, like I said, something was holding you back. Because this is like a solitary creature. And maybe this is what your heart was yearning for you to do, to travel the world, to experience life. To follow your passions, but you weren't, because you were trapped and stuck in a relationship or a family situation that you were always the one who had to do everything for everyone else. You were never able to trust or follow your North Star, your passions. You know, you could have been someone who was meant to travel the world to meet different people, kind of vibe, to be a leader. I'm hearing a spiritual leader, but it wasn't that. It was like a, what do you call it? A dignitary. Is it a dignitary? You know those people who work with the freaking, what do they call it? UN, and you are the representative for your country. That's what I'm getting, you know. That's who you were supposed to be, and you were meant to, like I said, the UN, the United Nations, you were meant to travel from world to world, not world to world, you know what I mean, country to country, and like keep the peace and stuff like that. But you were stuck at home taking care of everybody else, and that led to your misfortune because you weren't following your destiny, you know, to be a leader. So a relationship was holding you back in your past life. It's definitely the vibe that I'm getting. Or someone in your life was holding you back. Which, I mean, people can't hold you back unless you allow them to. So, same thing. You never realized your full potential. You never were fulfilled with the World card. The World card is reaching your ultimate happiness. You fulfilled what you came here to do, or the journey you set out on, and you didn't do that. So maybe you set out on a journey to find someone solitary, alone by yourself, this polar bear energy, and then you picked up a stray along the way. You know? And you ended up, you know, settling down, having kids, being a family man or a family woman, and you were the breadwinner, the bacon winner, you brought home the bacon kind of thing. And you were the one who held down the fort for when anybody was having an emotional outburst. Like, you were never able to be vulnerable yourself because you were always being the strong one for everyone else kind of thing. And it led to you not realizing your true potential. What else did they do in their past life, please? Or the past life that's affecting this life that they're in right now. Justice. What did you do? Yeah, you brought justice. You brought balance to people's lives. You could have been a figure in the law, because that's what this is giving me. With the world, you were a justice figure in the world. It's like a politician or dignitary or something like that. I wish these cards would stop being retarded. Like, are you dumb or what? Just stop playing in my face. Like, stop playing in my face. Ooh, I'm sorry, not funny. What else did they do in this past life? It's affecting this one right now, please. What else did they do? See, look, we have the Queen of Coins in reverse. You brought home the money. You were the nurturer. You were both. You were the hunter and the gatherer, and you were the nurturer. You was the person who was making the money and then having to come home and cook the food for the kids too. That's crazy. And you were never able to reach your true potential. That's So you were, like I said, yeah, you had to take on both roles. You were like balancing both jobs, we'll call them. You were balancing both jobs. You had to be the mother and the father, you know. You had to be the disciplinarian and the nurturer, you know. So maybe you lost a partner in the past life. That's what the misfortune was. And you ended up having to become mom and dad for the kids you guys had together. You ended up having to become the provider for, why the hell you acting like this? See, things getting stuck. I don't even know why I'm shuffling like that in the first place. And look, yeah, we have the Lovers. So love was like a big theme in your past life. And look at how we have someone who's taming the beast. So you could have been like I don't want to say a toxic situation, but it's kind of like you find yourself in like a very volatile connection with someone who's volatile, and you are constantly having to be that person to kind of nurture them and wrangle them. Yes. Yeah, that is coming through for real. Like, you had to wrangle them. You had to be the beauty to their beast kind of thing. Okay. Or you had to be the beauty and the beast. Anything else? what did you do? You were definitely someone who worked, you cooked, you nurtured, you took care of, but then you also were taking out of that Queen of Coins energy because you had to also work for the money too. Anyway, you definitely just kept things on the up and up. You were the regulator, is what I'm getting. But in being that regulator, you were never able to fulfill your truest purpose, which could have been involved legal things. Like I said, being the it's getting on my nerves, the word, you know what I mean. You were supposed to be this person for the whole village or the whole group, where anybody came in and tried to hurt you guys, or trade with you guys, or try to have like a partnership with you guys, you were the spokesperson. And like, you see how the person's coming out of their house with their sword ready and their medallion at the ready, so you have like an official position, I would say, in your past life. But then it also kind of, it could have butted heads with your home life as well. So like I said, you were too busy running back home after a long day, and you were taking care of the kids as well as having a job. And it's like you didn't have any help, or you did have help and you ended up losing a partner kind of thing. But you were definitely the regulator. You were the rule maker. You were the what do they call it? It's kind of like even like king or something. You're the one who handled the legal troubles and legal battles and kind of stuff like that. And you could have been, it's given like, I'm hearing Moana. Make way, Moana, it's time you knew the village of Motunui. So basically how the father in the movie kept trying to force Moana to become chief, and they were overprotective of her. You could have been dealing with some overprotective spouse or family member, and they were telling you, because we were always the the judge for this tribe, you have to be the judge for that tribe as well. So you can't go out and travel the world. Yes, oh my gosh, the way Moana wanted to in that movie. Moana wanted to travel. She wanted to see the world. She wanted to sail. And her father was like, no, because you're my only daughter and you're meant to be chief of this little village on Motunui, on this little island. And she was like, but I don't want to do that. I don't want to be chief. I want to travel the world. And like I said, you were meant to travel the world, and you weren't able to do that because somebody was holding you trapped. So like I said, family, it could have been a family member, or it could have been like a spouse or a lover. It could have been both, honestly. You could have been forced to marry someone here, the Two of Cups. You were in an arranged marriage kind of thing. And you were never able to really realize your full potential here, because all you wanted to do was travel the world and be free. And you were not able to do that because you were meant to, take on the medallion of this. Also giving me Mulan here, where her father never had a son. So she felt it was her responsibility to take his place in the army when they called for him, because he was too old. So like a duty to your family. You had some duty to uphold, or uphold. That's the right word. You had a duty to uphold, but it didn't allow you to travel the world the way you may have wanted to, or do what your heart was calling you to do. Because you have responsibilities. Yeah. I'm like, why does Moana come to? That's weird. But I'm like, Moana wanted to travel, and her father was telling her, chasing her around the village, saying, no. You're supposed to become chief of, this one day. Like, this is where you're supposed to stay and live. And she's like, sure. And she ended up leaving and following her passion anyway. Okay, but maybe you didn't get to do that. Or maybe you did, who knows? And it led to you being by yourself and being maybe disowned by the rest of your family. Because like I said, this polar bear in specific, if they don't as a whole give off solitary vibes, this bear right here is giving solitary vibes. And it's funny how in Brave, Merida's, I've never seen the movie, don't shoot me, I mean, I think that it's like a Pixar movie. It's not technically Disney or whatever, but her brothers turned into 3 bears, and she went on this whole mission to change them back. So like I said, dedicating your whole life to fixing the problems in your family, the way Merida had to go and fix and turn her brothers from Bear. I think she turned her mother and them into a bear too. I'm not 100% sure, but I do know her 3 twin brothers were turned into bears, and she spent most of the movie, you know, trying to change them back, kind of thing. And that's what, you know, you were socked with doing in this past life, taking care of people and taking on the duties that maybe weren't your job. Okay, so how is that affecting this life that you are living right now? How is this past life affecting the life you're living right now? Please, Spirit, how is that past life affecting the life you're living right now? 3 of Cups, unhappy energy, not being able to, oh Lord, unhappy energy, feeling trapped, feeling stuck, feeling lost without a family. Maybe you choosing to leave your family behind in this past life is trickling down into this life, and you could have lost your family in this life as well. You were kicked out at a young age, because it's like she's holding a candle. Yeah, she's cold outside, homeless kind of thing. We have 3 of Cups in reverse. Yeah, feeling on your own, not having any friends, not having any family kind of thing. We have Ace of Cups in reverse, not having much love either. So I feel like you had all these things in this past life and you gave them up, maybe, to go off on your own. You know, you didn't want the arranged marriage, you didn't want the love, you didn't want the kids, all that kind of stuff, and you had it. The responsibility was too much and you left it behind. So now you're destined to, you know, be left behind in this life now, because you left behind somebody in the past life. Ooh. Okay. How is this past life affecting their current life, please? We have 9 of Cups in reverse. Yeah, so no love. I'm not looking for love. No love, no love, no love. What song is that? I'm not looking for love. That's August Alsina, no love. So it led to you in this life not looking for love, because you may have been forced into a marriage in the past. You know, take it as a reverse. I think it's like the same. You were forced into a love. You were forced to have kids. You were people trying to wrangle your fiery, fierce, brave spirit and say, hey, settle down and have kids. You're just like, no, I want to be a free spirit. I want to travel the world. You know what I mean? I want to experience my life on my terms. Kind of feel like, oh no. You know, especially if you're born a woman, you're supposed to have marriage and kids and settle down and all that kind of stuff, and to be a stay-at-home mom kind of vibe. But you didn't want to do that. This Queen of Cups, this Queen of Pentacles coming out in reverse is kind of like you negating or leaving those responsibilities behind, you know? So in the past life, you didn't want the kids, you didn't want the marriage kind of vibe. You wanted to stand on your own 2 feet. And it's leading to you being the same way in this life, whether you want that or not, you know? Can I get one more card, please, for how is this path of affecting this one? Don't go looking for love. No love, no love, no love. And then we have Queen of Wands in reverse. Feeling insecure, being assertive. Because being assertive in this past life kind of got you alone. So maybe like subconsciously you know that if you're over the top and, you know, too independent kind of vibe, you're tapping into this energy of this past life where I didn't want family, I didn't want love, and maybe in this life you do. So you kind of feel like out of place, like I can't, you don't feel comfortable with family, you don't have many friends, you know what I mean? Or you just find yourself being a solitary person who's always on their own kind of vibe. You're always by yourself, out in the cold, outside looking in. Can't ever make any friends, you know what I mean? Don't have too much self-love for yourself kind of vibe, or love is just very hectic or irregular for you. 9 of Cups, not being able to be in this very romantic, lovey-dovey kind of energy, or being able to attract a 9 of Cups in your life, and that leading you to feel like there's something wrong and not being confident in yourself. Wow. And at the bottom of that, we have 10 of Coins. You want this, but it's being kept from you for whatever reason. You don't feel like you're not going to be able to get it, or you don't deserve it kind of thing. It's something along those lines. It's like a very interesting energy. Yeah, see, you're supposed to come into or ascend into this North Star energy, being a North Star for others, or, you know, finding your North Star, finding your purpose, finding what makes you, you know, want to step up and lead others. And right now with the Queen of Wands in reverse, you haven't found that yet, because the Queen of Wands is very much a leadership energy, but in a feminine form, you know. Doesn't make her any less brutal or fierce as a King of Wands, but it makes it harder for her to, you know, but it makes like a more feminine approach, not harder. You could find it hard to demand or command respect. I'll be right back. Yeah, feeling like you're not able to fully step into this Queen of Wands energy because maybe when you did it in a past life, it ended wrong. And like I said, subconsciously, your body's like, okay, if we do that again, it may lead to the same results, you know? But it's like, it's a different time. What else can we get from these cards? So you feel like a very lone wolfy, solitary, always on your own, by yourself kind of energy is what I'm getting from these cards for how's it affecting this specific life right now. Feeling like it's hard to accept love, feeling like it's hard to give yourself love, feeling like it's hard to give love kind of thing. Because Knight of Cups is someone who is able to, you know, effortlessly show their emotions, show how they feel about people, you know, and you're not able to do that with the Knight of Cups in reverse. So kind of feeling cut off from the world emotionally with the Ace of Cups in reverse and the Knight of Cups in reverse. So what else can you tell me? How else is it affecting their life? Here we have a wounded healer. Wow. And I'm supposed to read from the book for you guys when it comes to these cards. I'll do that when I finish. We have a wounded healer. Yeah, feeling like you're never able to see, and that's giving what happened in the past. You were the healer. You were always there for other people. You were meant to be strong for everybody else. And like as soon as you stopped doing that, maybe you were maybe, you know, unalive for it. This is something that I'm getting. You were condemned for it kind of vibe. What else can you tell me, please, about this past life? How is it affecting this one? You're the wounded healer. So something about you were wounded in a past life. You lost a loved one. You know, you lost your family. You were forced into a marriage. You were given more responsibility than you wanted, and it affected you in like a negative way. So now you don't really have much self-confidence in yourself. You don't have confidence enough in yourself to lead, but you're supposed to be leading in this life here. You know, being able to follow your passions, because the Queen of Wands is like a very passionate energy where she goes after what she wants and she doesn't care what anybody else has to say. Very passionate, you know, following the dreams, kind of following her dreams kind of energy, you know, and maybe you don't feel able to do that. The Chiron wounded healer, definitely something about you always feeling like the outcast. What else can you tell me, please? How's it affecting them? Ooh. We have the beloved. What was I saying about love, guys? Yeah. Feeling like it's hard for you to water any connection that involves love. Oh, this is so little. You guys are so small. Stop it. Stop it. We have Damiana, the beloved. Dandelions, I always remember dandelions were, they say you could blow on the dandelion and make a wish. So maybe you've been wishing for these things, like soul family. Like you just feel very alone. That's how it's, you know, affecting you right now. You're feeling very alone, not able to have friends, not able to have any love. You're just always by yourself, watching everybody else's life play out beautifully for them. But then when it comes to you, you're just like, oh, I'm not, you know, I can't get what I want. And it's because you're not allowing yourself to do that with the Queen of Wands in reverse. There could be some part of, like I said, that says if I do stuff and go after what I want, it's gonna only lead to bad things. You have maybe in the past tried to be the Queen of Wands upright, but it always led to bad things or something like that. You were condemned for your overly independent nature, so you just decided to, like, you know, close in and become a shell of the person who used to be with the Five of Pentacles. Because even to this day, women who are overly independent or that kind of vibe is looked down upon. Being a feminist is looked down upon, you know, that kind of stuff. you're only supposed to be getting married and having kids. That paradigm is still around, but I feel like it is more common for women to be independent and have their own life and not need to find love and have kids and that kind of thing. But you may be someone who wants to be independent and passionate, but still want that love, and you want the kids and you want all that kind of stuff, and you may not have found a way to make that work yet, kind of vibe, to be this Queen of Wands and have love. So maybe you've been trying to repress that side of you, because you know when you did try to be that, it didn't work out so well. Here we have Animal Monday. This is oneness. Wow. Okay, so I don't know, like, yeah, always feeling like the outcast, like you're the one who's helping everyone else, but no one is helping you. You know, watching everybody else be happy around you, but you never be happy yourself, that kind of thing. But with Animal Monday, it's like oneness, wholeness, integration. You're integrating your spirit with the oneness and or the supreme consciousness of it all. And that's kind of what you're meant here to do. Like I said, this leadership and that North Star. Here we have journey. You're supposed to be going on a journey, okay? And we have wisdom. So yeah, I'm getting the vibe that you're supposed to be the one that people come to. Like I said, this wounded healer. You are always healing others, but who's coming to heal you? Nobody. Which leads to the wounded healer archetype. So what I'm going to do is read what the book says for leadership. North Star. Yep. In Western culture, we wish upon a star because the stars, and what was I saying about wish of dandelion? Boom. We wish upon a star because the stars represent all that is illuminating and enchanting. They symbolize aspiration, illumination, inspiration, imagination, and wonder. Native people use the stars to find their way in the night. So yeah, feeling lost and like you haven't found your way, you know, yeah, okay, that's definitely something that's coming through for real. In this life right now, you feel like you're lost and you haven't found your North Star. Because look at how we have the, I'm saying panda, no. We have the polar bear that's back, it's turned to the North Star. It's not looking up to the stars, just looking towards maybe looking for leadership in other people instead of stepping up and leading yourself. Could be something that's coming through as well. Like I said, this is like the grounding energy of what you're supposed to be doing in this life, leading. And you're not doing that with the Queen of Wands universe. You may be looking for leadership in other people when you're supposed to step up and lead your own self, you know, waiting for somebody else to come and save you when you're supposed to save yourself. Because you're like, I'm saving everyone else. Who's gonna come save me? You. You're doing it for everyone else. The North Star was often used as a kind of compass to make sure one was going in the right direction. The North Star symbolizes direction and guidance. It is a guiding light for those who can't find their way. It's one of the brightest stars in its constellation. So just as the North Star is a beacon for travelers in the dark of the night, you are a beacon for others. Wow. It's time to step into the light and take on your leadership role. You are a teacher, steward, guardian, and healer, a true leader, wounded healer coming through. Wow. Own these gifts, come into the light, don't hold back, let the world see your light. The greatest leaders are those who know how to serve and act as stepping stones for others to reach their dreams. Like I said, you're helping everyone else reach their dreams, but who's helping you reach yours? That job is yours as well. If you have been hiding in the background, Queen of Wands in reverse, it's time to break out and become the light for others. Through this, your star shines brighter. Wow. And look, right after that, we have love. So love is definitely a big thing with the beloved here. You could be someone, like I said, who's so used to helping everyone else, but you never found your love. You never found your beloved. You know what I mean? So it's like you're a wounded healer. You're healing everyone else, but you're still craving, yearning for something, you know? Wow. So yeah, some themes that keep coming through is healer and leadership, okay? We have Animal Monday, yeah, you stepping up and being one with the universe in order to give this energy to others. I'm gonna read that in the book for you guys. It's like incorporating you and the universe together, you know? Maybe the universe is supposed to be your beloved, child. They said, hey, be here for you where everybody else is not there for you, but they're always there for you. There's another message coming through. So the beloved, how do I find her? Is that the one I'm looking for? No, I'm looking for Animal Monday. Let me stop. Yeah, you're too focused on love, child. Bruh, you're too focused on love. So I'm like, the beloved. Let me look for that one, Damiana. No, that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for Animal Monday. Guys, move. Yeah, you feel alone. You feel like you want your partner. You want your love, your beloved with you. And maybe in the past, like I said, you had it and they lost it. So you're just constantly searching for that fulfillment of love again. You know? That's something coming through. And then even in the freaking leadership, right after leadership, you had love, and you could be and I didn't even look at the next reading for the other people. So the fact that I was looking at leadership and started looking on to love is a thing. You're too focused on love, and you need to work. You need to focus on that leadership. Okay. And focus on, like I said, becoming one with the universe, and becoming one with the Akashic records kind of vibe, enlightening yourself, focusing on your spiritual vibe. Because they said the more you shine, the more you help others, the more you shine. So you're worried about you, when you're just meant to literally be the wounded healer. Like I said, never fully healed, but always healing others. That's so sad. I don't mean to put that on y'all, but that's coming through the cards. I'm sorry. You're focusing on your love and your story and you wanting to be happy. And that's something you did in the past as well. Like, you wanted to be to travel the world, and you wanted to be free, but they were telling you, no, we have an arranged marriage for you, you're supposed to have kids, take on the family name. Said no, and you kind of abandoned that, I feel like, and it's now trickling down into this life as well, where you're just focused on you. I want love, I want to travel, I want to be this, but it's like, no, you need to lead others, but you don't want to step up and do that. And I did say that's going to come back around the card in the beginning of the reading, so boom, it has. Like, you're meant to lead, but you don't want to lead. You want to be by yourself and only focus on you and follow what you want and, pour into yourself. But you can't do that because you're meant to lead others as well. And the more you lead others, the more your star shines brighter, and the more you'll probably get what you want. But first, it starts with them, and then it starts with you. Okay. But yeah, Animal Monday, let's get back into that. Sorry. Dragon's Blood is 146. Dragon's Blood, Animal Monday, is upright oneness, merging with the divine, access to the world soul, occult knowledge, initiation, universal donor, and entry into the great void. Okay, we have also known as the Sangre de Drago or Sangre de Grado in Amazonia and South America. This plant has a long history of indigenous use in the rainforests. The sap, and then we read about native people using the North Star to find direction, like a map, and it's coming up again. Wow. Yeah, indigenous. So you could have like Native American roots or blood, or that you were of a Native American background, and that is something they really do honor, is responsibility, and everyone having their own responsibility. Especially everybody has their own job to do in the grand scheme of things, and maybe you kind of rejecting that is trickling down into this life as well. Like I said, rejecting that duty. You were supposed to be the person who was like, this is your family crest, and you were supposed to be the leader of your family, but you didn't want to step into that role of leadership, and now it's coming through again in this life. You don't want to step into the role of leadership, but you have to, unless you want to keep doing this over and over again, But yeah, something here about Native American roots and Amazon and South America, which is same thing. Native American, or just native. Let me stop saying Native American. Jesus, native, indigenous, native. Not American, just native. I'm done. And it was often painted on wounds to promote healing and seal them to prevent infection, as well as taken internally to prevent or stop internal bleeding. Indigenous peoples have used it in a myriad of ways, externally for wounds, fractures, hemorrhoids, and skin disorders, internally for acid reflux, ulcers, and colitis, and as an antiviral. This crucial and life-saving medicine was and still is a staple for thousands of tribal peoples. And didn't I say something about a small tribe or that expected you to be something? Okay, so yeah, that's coming through again. Physically, dragon's blood is the epitome of Plutonian and Scorpionic energy, as both archetypically rule the symbol of blood. Shamans have used dragon's blood in spell work, rituals of protection, purification, and consecration. In Christian art, the dragon was symbolic of evil and sin, yet many other traditions hold that serpent deities like dragons are benevolent, sharp-eyed dwellers that hold the mystery of the great void. Okay, So like I said, there's something about your way of thinking that could be looked down on, because your way of thinking and living is evil and sin. Like I said, feminism and things like that. But in other traditions, it's benevolent, sharp-eyed, and, you know, mystery of the great void kind of thing. So it's praised in other in traditional places, but like in like mainstream Christian places, like it's not as looked down upon. Yeah, you're here to be an elder. This was coming through in group 1 as well, so you may have called it group 1. But with shamans coming through, indigenous peoples coming through, that's definitely something you were meant to step up and do. Maybe you were meant to be the shaman of the whole entire village, but you shirked on your responsibilities and left, and it kind of led to some bad karma because you wanted to be selfish instead of doing things for the greater good, you know? Instead of being a team player, essentially. Okay, so we're gonna get some cards from here. What is the lesson they were meant to learn? What more lessons? And look, we have fairies here. So you have like a very wise, you know, fairy-esque energy about you, like a light. Yeah, you're supposed to be a light. Like I said, the more you help others, the more your light shines bright. So you're a star. And I always love how fairies are always represented by like little sparks of light, like a star. Essentially, you could confuse it for a star if it may have been flying in the sky or something, you know? So we have some fairy guides. We have flexibility, being able to do it all, being able to be somebody for yourself and take care of yourself while also taking care of others is what I just heard. We have protection. Other lessons you're meant to learn is that you're supposed to be a protector for other people, which is something you may not have learned in that past life, but you're definitely gonna learn in this one. We have security. You're supposed to secure and protect other people, yeah. And look at how we have the writings on the wall. We have it's like a cave with fire, which is definitely giving more indigenous roots, or, you know, back in the days, like I said, hunter-gatherer kind of vibes, where they were only in caves and they had the stars to guide them and they had to write on the walls kind of vibe. So definitely, it's like old soul vibes. Like you've been here many, many times. So this life is the life that's affecting this one is very ancient. And then here we have pleasure. You're supposed to have a good time. See, and look at these cards that are giving in reverse. Like, once you do this, you realize that you're able to be this for other people and yourself as well. Once you're able to, you know, protect yourself better and protect others. It's like I'm hearing two things can be true at the same time. You can be fully, because you do have to take care of yourself in order to take care of others. But do not make it a selfish deed. No, you can do both. You don't have to choose one. So, you know, once you find this flexibility and realize you can do both, like I said, 2 lightning strikes are striking something at one time. You can do both and be both. A protector for other people and yourself. Look at how that's what this person's freaking doing right here. Like I said, yeah, you were supposed to be a protector or a fighter or something. You were in a past life as well, but I'm hearing you kind of shirked your responsibilities, and it led to maybe some, you know, karma of finding you in this life. Sorry, I have to crack my fingers. And with the Justice card coming out upright, it's not giving bad karma. It's just giving that this is something that's going to keep coming up in your life until you overcome it. So just expect for it to keep coming through. You might as well, you know, overcome it in this life. Why not? But yeah, it's going to lead to your overall pleasure. So you could have felt like someone who had like too many responsibilities. You were always by yourself. You never got to have any fun. Never got to experience love and light and all that kind of stuff. Never got to fully, you know, be who you wanted to be and step into your true power. And it's kind of like, that is something that you're meant to do. That is something that you are meant to do. You're supposed to find your peace. But you have to kind of, like I said, be this leader for other people first. You have to step into your leadership role in order to experience this pleasure, in order to experience this security. Okay, they said what they said. Now what I'm going to do is use this deck here. It's called the Night School deck. It's called the Night School Moonlit Magic deck. And it has a whole bunch of different stuff. It has sacred sites on it. It has astrology. It has other forms of wisdom in here, because it's basically supposed to be a school. It's supposed to teach you things. So I feel like the things that come out from this deck are going to be things you should be focusing on. We already honestly figured out that it was leadership, but it gives you like more technical things. We'll see. More specific things, I should say, to focus on. So this is like things that you need to be learning right now or doing right now to further your growth. Things you should be studying, looking into, kind of thing. Focusing on. So what are these things that I need to focus on in this life? These are way too many cards, but we're not going to do. I'll take the one on top. Okay, those two both want to come out. What else? They need to learn. Or they should focus on learning. Okay. Oh, yeah. This is connect. Take those two. Okay. Okay. I'm not taking a hold to the card. I better relax. Jesus. Trying to sit here and give me all these nasty cards, child. Okay, where do I start? Put these over here. Put these over here. So this card flew out first. Let's get into this one. We have find the spark. Choose something that feels plasticky and inanimate. Imagine the process by which it was conceived and made. Allow your eyes to open to all the creative energy behind this object. How many people put a little bit of themselves into its creation? Can you find its spark? So definitely finding your spark. Like they said, finding your North Star, finding the map of your soul and finding what you're meant to do and following that map, okay? So it's giving birth chart, it's giving birth chart, yeah. And I feel like you're meant to find the spark in others or initiate that spark in other people. So by finding your spark, you're allowing others to find their spark as well. Because by following, you're a leader, that people follow you. So you have to find your leadership qualities first. Find that leadership spark within you. Find the creative spark within you. And then allow others to, like, you know, follow behind that. Okay. Here we have connect. Build a connection with a plant, animal, crystal, or even one of your ancestors by giving it a voice through free writing. Let your hand flow across the page, writing whatever comes to you. Write first, interpret later. Trust that you're not making it up. Ooh, yep. Here we have cardinal signs in astrology. These signs are initiators. They tend to get things moving and stir things up. The cardinal signs are Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. So initiators, the starters, you have to start something, okay? And you could have prominent Aries, Cancer, Libra, or Capricorn placements. Here we have step into change. Small things help you get acclimated to bigger changes. Try going to sleep at a different time or upending the order of your bedtime routine. And that's flexibility coming through again. What does this do to your senses? Are you more intentional about how you go about your evening and how you move into your space? So they're saying change things up. You're not meant to go with the flow. You're meant to switch things up, which is what they say. Yeah, stir things up. Cardinal signs. Yeah. Here we have air. Air is one of the 4 elements. It is in the tarot deck. It is in the tarot deck. Air aligns with swords. In astrology, it is represented by Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. Air represents a catalyst and signifies change as well as the intellect. The vibrations of air can help you achieve altered senses, altered states of consciousness. The vibrations of air can help you achieve altered states of consciousness. Interesting. Altered states of consciousness, definitely giving shamanism again. But you're kind of, and that's that Anima Mundi. And it came over that, yes, exactly. The Anima Mundi connect to the divine, bringing messages from the ether and bringing them down to everyone else, you know? Here we have unleash your senses. What does the night sound like? Try opening your eyes and closing them. Does this change what you hear? If the night were a song, what song would it be? Oh, that's interesting. I like that. So you're supposed to be awakening your senses, stepping into change, you know what I mean? Becoming one with earth, becoming one with the air. Becoming free-flowing, flexible, because air can't be tapped, can't be tamed. Air can't be held on to, it can't be touched. It's not a thing, it's a feeling, you know? So with air, also carrying wind and sound, maybe you hear messages in the wind kind of vibe. It's giving very much Pocahontas, and she was Native American kind of vibe. So it's giving very much Pocahontas, and she would talk to Mother Willow, so talking to the earth speaks to you kind of thing. Here we have, when doing divination, ask the right question. Write down the first question about your life that comes to mind. Edit to make it more specific. Ask if it's detailed enough. Rewrite the question, getting it as granular as possible on the details. So something about divination is coming through as well for you. So maybe you read tarot, that kind of stuff. Here we have nurture versus magical nature. Contemplate your earliest magical experiences. Think about what you thought about magic when you were young, how imagination factored into your life, seeing things, ghosts, invisible friends, fairies. Bro, what was I saying? Fairies. Exactly, fairies are important. You were seeing them when you were younger, and those were your guides speaking to you. You were very much more, when we're kids, we're more open to energies, you know? We don't allow logic and things like that to create parameters and barriers and boundaries to what we believe and what we see, you know? And I feel like when you were younger, you did have fairy guides, and you still do, you know? And you would see them and you would talk to them. That's beautiful. I love that it came through. And then we have trance-like experiences or dreams. So your dreams are important. Following your dreams literally means following what you're passionate about or following dreams you've had, you know? Here we have interpret a dream. Stop playing, bro. Dream and afterward note the symbols you envisioned. Visit a book or consult the internet to explore universal meanings of the symbols. Add in the special sauce of your personal experience and perception of each symbol. So yeah, you could be someone who interprets dreams for others. That could be a way how you heal. People come and tell you their dreams, you tell them, interpret it for them, you know? Based on how you feel it is and how they feel it is, you come up with the reasoning behind it, you know? And we have reading macro patterns. The small pieces of the universe can be discerned by observing the universe at large. Astrology and tarot are two tools for reading macro patterns. Turn to them when you want to know how the movements of the universe apply to you. So that's definitely what I was saying. Astrology and tarot is something big for you that you're supposed to be getting into, or you already are into, and it was meant to find you. So you're supposed to read the small pieces by being aware of the bigger pieces of things, which is what that Animal Monday is saying as well. Connect to the higher consciousness so you can understand why smaller things are happening in your life. And the last card we have here is Know Thyself. Know thyself, nothing in excess, surety brings ruin. How do you interpret this ancient Greek inscription? Know thyself, nothing in excess, surety brings ruin. So being sure about everything, and, you know, interpret that yourself. I'm not going to interpret it for you because this is, you know, this is your reading. Know thyself, nothing in excess, surety brings ruin. How do you interpret this ancient Greek inscription? Okay, so this is like like some homework. You can write things down, whatever is calling out to you the most. You may not resonate with everything here, but the things that are calling out to you the most, write them down, get a paper, you know, work on those things when you're not in this reading kind of vibe, so you can further grow into the person you're meant to be in this life and somehow heal who your past life kind of vibe. Okay, so I hope this video resonated. If it did, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Join the tribe of divine family. Love to have you. If you would ever like to book a personal reading with me, you could always get in contact with me. It's my email in the description box below. But I hope you're having a beautiful, wonderful day whenever you're watching this reading. And as always, I will see you guys in the next reading. Bye.